If you're new here, make sure you subscribe if you're new. And of course, everyone please like the video before we get started. We have got a lot to talk about today. No doubt about that. I tell you, the situation we are in right now is more serious than we've ever been in with Russia by far. I mean, there's just no getting around it. I'm talking about ever. Even before I was alive. So that's the topic I'm going to start with. There's a lot of other things to talk about as well, but that's going to be the main topic that I start with. Welcome. If you're new, subscribe. My name's Brian, and of course I'm live here every day from 6 till 9 a.m. here Eastern Time, taking live calls from our radio listeners and you guys on YouTube. If you want to call in, I put the call-in number. It's toll-free from anywhere in the top of the chat. It's pinned there in the top of the chat, 1-888-465-2631. Whether you agree or disagree with what you're hearing from me, you're welcome to call in. Here we go. My Pillow mattress, 30% off. Showtime. You get 2 free My Pillows, a free set of the 100% Giza Cotton Dream Sheets with the promo code Kane, and free shipping. That's amazing, right? You can also order by phone. Well, good morning, Viking Warrior. Good morning, everyone. 1-800-716-4879. Is there anyone who, because I'm still on the wait list for Truth Social, is there anyone who was on the wait list for Truth Social and you got off the wait list and now your Truth Social account is active for you to post on? Because I was really, it's been a week. I wish I was on there. I'm on the waiting list. Indeed. Oh, man. Welcome, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years, the Steve Kane Show on the radio waves of Florida this year. Welcome. My name is Brian Craig. Long time, I don't know. I've had many titles, none of which interest me. But we've got a lot to talk about today, and today's a scary day. You know, it really is. You know, what's going on in Ukraine with Russia has reached a level of tensions between the United States and Russia that we have never seen before. You've heard that Putin has put the nukes on alert. I'm not sure that's happened before. Outside of a war game scenario, has Russia, and does that red phone still exist? Did it ever exist? Was it just a myth? But wasn't there a direct line of communication between the White House and the Kremlin? Does that still exist? And when I woke up this morning, first thing I did before I get out of bed, I pick up my phone because I got to turn the alarm off. But I check and see what the big news stories are. And this one, oh boy. U.S. Embassy in Moscow urges American citizens in Russia to leave the country immediately as Vladimir Putin puts nuclear deterrent forces on alert. The U.S. Embassy in Moscow has urged Americans in Russia to leave the country immediately. This was yesterday, late yesterday, as some airlines have halted flights there, some countries close to their skies to Russian aircraft. Which means, you know, the reason that they're suspending the civilian flights is because it's becoming a war zone, not just Ukraine, but Mother Russia as well. The embassy, this is the United States Embassy, said this: U.S. citizens should consider departing Russia immediately via commercial options still available. Officials in Washington in recent weeks have urged Americans not to travel to Russia and warned that the U.S. government could not help in any evacuation of Americans from there. What the hell, whenever you travel abroad, the U.S. Embassy is supposed to be a place where you can go for help. We couldn't evacuate our people from Afghanistan. They've been left behind. Now they're telling us we can't evacuate people from Russia. An earlier alert recommended Americans develop contingency plans on how to leave Russia if necessary. Now they're saying get out. The European Union was among those announcing Sunday they were closing their airspace to Russian flights. The embassy, this is the American embassy in Moscow, the embassy reminds U.S. citizens that the Department of State's travel advisory level for Russia is at level 4. Do not travel, the statement added. Americans make up 10% of expats living in Russia as of 2018, and it's certainly grown since then. And of course, there's a hell of a lot of tourists. There are a lot of American tourists in Russia. Are the cruise ships running? Because I've had friends that have taken cruises up through St. Petersburg and all of that. Now, this U.S. embassy alerts are becoming, under Biden, common. Afghanistan's one thing, because that was always a war zone. Now, this warning from the embassy, and our embassy, telling Americans to get out of Russia and do it immediately. To my knowledge, and I will throw this out to you because we're in new territory here. To my knowledge, and let me give out the number, by the way, your thoughts on everything going on with Ukraine and Russia, including this and anything involving it, are welcome, because there's been a lot of developments over the weekend. Our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. It's Monday, February 28th, 2022. The last day of February, the last day of Black History Month, and boy, oh boy, crazy stuff going on here. So the U.S. Embassy is telling Americans, the U.S. Embassy in Moscow, get out of Russia, Americans, now. Do not go there, and get out now. We don't even have the ability to evacuate you. And the reason they say they don't have the ability to evacuate is because we don't have military bases there like we've had in other countries. And we can't fly in U.S. military aircraft into Russia to get you out. I wonder what Snowden's thinking right now. Now, to my knowledge, and I'll throw this out to either confirm or shoot my thing down here, but I don't think this has ever happened with Russia, where we had the U.S. Embassy say, Americans, get out. I don't even know if this happened during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Now, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, there were not as many Americans there, obviously, and they didn't have the tourist economy to the level they've had in recent years. But even during the Cuban Missile Crisis, did we reach a level like this about not flying over Russian airspace and the European countries that flew? Americans, get out. We can't help you. I would say, I tell you, this Joe Biden, he's a real beaut, isn't he? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Look at what he's done to this perfect world that he was handed by Donald Trump. President Trump handed Biden a perfect country, a perfect world, and Biden has screwed things up. But you know what he reminds me of, Biden? I mean this. Do you ever see the Dead Zone movie? Not the TV series, which was very good with Anthony Michael Hall. That was a little different. The movie with Christopher Walken, based on the Stephen King. And Christopher Walken played this guy. He had powers. If he touched you, he could see the future of you. And Martin Sheen was running for president, and he touched Martin Sheen, and he saw the future, which was just, the whole world burning and nuclear holocaust if Martin Sheen became president. I'm pretty sure it was Martin Sheen. Wasn't it Martin Sheen in the Dead Zone? That's that character, that president in the Dead Zone is how I feel things are with Biden. We very well, and I mean this, and this is not hyperbole. This is not, trying to ratchet, get the audience excited. I want you to be excited, but I'm not doing this to get you excited. This is something I do not believe tensions have been this dangerous and this high between the United States and Russia since the Cuban Missile Crisis, and in many ways we're equal to that, if not in a greater sense of urgency, than we were during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Because now this is what I'm asking you. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, I have never heard this mentioned before, that Russia is preparing their nuclear arsenal here, putting their nukes on alert. Did Russia put their nuclear weapons on alert during the Cuban Missile Crisis? Have they ever done that before? At least when we knew about it, when the public knew about it. I think this very well may be the first time this has happened that was public knowledge. Maybe they did this before and it was kept secret from us. But we're at a new level of danger here. Okay, we're at a new level of danger that we've never been in before, because if this is I would say that the tension is as great as during the Cuban Missile Crisis, but during the Cuban Missile Crisis, we had competent people running the country. We didn't have people running agencies of government because of their sexuality, or their gender, or their skin color, or what sex organs they have. We actually had, except for Bobby Kennedy, who was there because his brother was president, but he was competent. President Kennedy was surrounded by people like McNamara who were competent people. May have done some, got us into Vietnam and all that, but that wasn't Vietnam. And there was some mistakes that were made, and Cuba has been a communist hellhole because of it, but they cooled things off. They had competent people who understood and calmed things down. What's going on now are things are getting more heated and more dangerous each and every day. And this level that we're at right now is very dangerous. During the Cuban Missile Crisis, there were not many Americans in Russia. So we still have an unknown number of Americans stuck in Afghanistan. How many would be left behind and stuck in Russia? Whew. Our number's toll free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike. How you doing? Getting ready for Mardi Gras?
Yeah, I'm not too going on Mardi Gras,
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Well, with the way things are going on in the world, it's a good time to start drinking.
Yeah. Look, this is what you get. I don't want to use the Steve Bannon quote about elections because it might get...
Mm.
This is what you get when an incompetent who surrounds himself with incompetence,
Yeah. Yeah.
Still there. First off, if Trump was still there, we wouldn't be in this situation. But let's just say we were if Trump was still there. You think he'd be telling the Americans in Russia to get on commercial airlines? You think he'd be saying?
Oh no. And where does Snowden play into this? I wonder what Snowden's going to do. Is Snowden going to get out, or is he going to stay behind in Russia?
I don't know.
He might. He's got his his bikini model girlfriend went over there and married him. I don't know. Does Snowden have a child? He might. I don't know. Will he try to go to another country and leave Russia? I'm curious about that. I've never seen. And again, I throw this out to you. Am I right or wrong about this? I don't recall ever Russia going on nuclear alert and hearing messages from the United States Embassy that Americans need to get out of Russia now. We have no way to evacuate you if you don't.
Again, that's this is what you get when you have an incompetent in the White House.
Yeah.
Really, this is. We thought at the time. Now, you and I were probably a little bit young to think about it, but thinking back on it, with Carter and what happened with Iran and stuff.
Yeah, but Iran was at the time. I mean, they're more of a threat now because but back then they weren't a threat to us. Iran, they weren't a threat to us during Jimmy Carter's era. Not here at home, not really. You know, I mean, they had some things that they were connected to, terrorism and things like that. But this is a whole new era. Hey, listen, thanks for the call, Mike in Louisiana. Let me take our first break of the day, the first break of the week. Oh man, and I want to tell you guys about the Thomas Edison of sleep, the inventor of the MyPillow, Mike Lindell. And there's a special that I got to tell you about. This is the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, which right now with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, is 50% off. The lowest price ever on this. Lowest price ever, 50% off. The 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, which is the thickest mattress topper that Mike Lindell makes. Now, to find this deal at MyPillow.com, go to MyPillow.com. Look down on your right, scroll down a little bit, you'll see Mike Lindell holding the American flag. Click that, and then that'll take you to where it's at. 50% off the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. You know, it's made with 3 layers. Layer 1 is the MyPillow patented foam, which is a solid piece. It gives you the durability and the support that it has. Layer 2 is a transitional foam that provides optimal comfort. This is the foam that evenly distributes your body weight and helps relieve those pressure points. That's why my wife's back pain went away after just one night sleeping on the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, and it's not returned. Layer 3 is the cover, which is made from phase change material, which keeps your body temperature regulated throughout the night. And it absolutely does. You're never too hot, never too cold. You're like Goldilocks. You're perfect. It has a zippered removable cover that is both washable and dryable. Each of the 4 corners has a strap to hold the topper in place. And let me tell you, once you put those 4 straps on around your mattress, it doesn't move. There's no wires, no remotes, no moving parts. Comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee, which you'll not need because you're going to be very happy, as well as a 10-year warranty. And the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper is made right here in the U.S. of A. And, you know, when you go to MyPillow.com, take advantage of this deal, 50% off with our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. And again, go to MyPillow.com, scroll down till you see Mike Lindell holding our great American flag. Click that and you'll see it in that section, 50% off with the promo code Kane. Now, whatever specials you see throughout the MyPillow.com website and my store, you can take advantage of all of them with our promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E, no matter what it says. But this MyPillow mattress topper will change your life. I sleep on it myself, and you know, from the first night, I wake up when my alarm goes off, which was the first time in my adult life. I wake up when the alarm goes off in the morning. I was always waking up an hour before, half hour before, 5 minutes before. No more. I get a rested full night's sleep. And you can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. 50% off the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. It will change your life. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
It's me, Brian.
Richie the bus driver. What's up, Richie? This is some pretty hot, heated things going on here this weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to bring up a few things on this topic because this is the topic of the world right now. First of all, back in the day with the Cuban Missile Crisis, I don't think we had any Americans living in Russia.
We had some defectors.
In other words, Russia was the big bad evil empire, and
no, there were some isolated people. I mean, I had a school teacher that went over there during the height of the Cold War, and there were Americans that went there, but we've never had an advisory like this come out of the U.S. Embassy in our history, to my knowledge.
No, but we also back then we were under alert because we knew we almost went to nuclear war. The news was reporting.
Yeah, but was the news reporting that Russia had alerted their nuclear weapons and put them on alert? I mean, this is... Brian,
Kennedy saw a missile sitting over in Cuba and went and told Khrushchev, get him out of here or else. Now we got Biden in the White House, and we got a crazy man in Russia right now, a guy that poisons people, kills all his adversaries, has no conscience, orders murders like it's nothing. So it's a completely different animal we're working with right.
Well, we had, you know, even on the Russian side, I know Khrushchev looked a little crazy and everything with the shoes and all that, but there were competent people even in Russia then, because the World War II generation was still running things there, and in this country, we had competent people, not people in cabinet positions because they're gay or this or that, and plus, you know, we had a young president with his wits about him, not a senile old coot with major cognitive issues going on. And Johnson was competent as well.
Yeah, it's a different scenario, okay. But he's threatened us. There was one of his henchmen, either his vice president or one of the presidents from one of the other countries.
Belarus.
Yeah, one of them said that he'll use his nuclear weapons on the United States and completely wipe us out, because he says a world without Russia is no world.
Oh, yeah, that was on TV. I know. I'm going to get to that later. Yeah, a world without Russia is not a world. Yeah, yes.
Yeah, so here's the point I'm trying to get across. I don't want to beat around the bush. Poland is sitting back there. We're sitting back there. We're leaving it up to a crazy man to whether he's going to stop or not. He's already threatened us with nuclear weapons. At one point, I see little babies in subways crying, screaming. They're blowing civilian apartment buildings up. And they said there's going to be one of the on Fox last night, Lieutenant Colonel said there's 40,000 troops that are going to get annihilated today if they don't surrender, because he said this guy is not going to stop.
Well, here's the thing. Biden is so. I mean, he's Obama. Obama said, whatever decision Joe makes is the wrong decision. That, you know, don't underestimate his. He said that he F's everything up. That's Obama using those words. You know, so you know what is needed now is to cool things the freak off. Things are escalating fast, and Putin. I was thinking about this over the weekend. And by the way, if you guys follow me on YouTube, I did a lot of live streams from my. I got a new studio set up at home that I stream on YouTube. If you've not seen my weekend streams, check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. But a little more high tech than I usually have. My daughter got me set up. But I was starting to wonder. I first started thinking, you know, this might result in Putin being overthrown in Russia, and then I was thinking, maybe he was losing his grip on power and started a war thinking it would strengthen his position, because he's in a very weakened position right now. That's why he's doing these desperate things.
See, you're looking at it like I would look at it, but there's an expert that was found last night that followed him whole life. She's a Russian woman. She's in the United States. With reality, either we're going to stand up to him now, or we're going to wait till he invades Poland, and at that point we have to go in, because we're with NATO. So what I'm trying to say to you, and I was against this, and you know I'm against war, and I think you are 150% against war. When are we going to take a stand? We're going to have to put the military in there to stop this, because if you don't, he's not stopping.
Well, you know, this thing, when I first heard that the SWIFT bank, they were cutting Russia off, and then you find out it's only some of the banks. I mean, it's not 100%. The way to stop the first priority of Biden, who you know is not even awake right now. President Trump was up tweeting 4 or 5 in the morning. This guy's sleeping. But the main priority is to cool things off, and so far as tensions go. And look at these peace talks today with Russia and Ukraine. Where are we in that? And I'll tell you, cutting off the banks 100% could slow this down and stop it, because there's a lot of, we keep hearing about these Russian oligarchs, these Russian billionaires, and if they get cut off from their money, you know, they all hate Putin anyway. They're terrified of him. He's like Kim Jong-un to them. You know, they're terrified of him and hate him. Those Russian oligarchs are in a position where maybe they could remove him from power.
The lady said that will never happen. He's got oligarchs that are so close to him, and they got 20% of the other banks that he still owns open. But the thing, Brian, I hate to say this. I really hate to say this. You don't want to go into war with these people.
No, not at all.
You know what? You know what President Trump told him about Moscow? If you go into Ukraine, we will bomb Moscow. And he backed off because that's the only thing he knows. He's not going to know sanctions. He's not going to know.
You know, this is, I hate saying this, you know, and if you got kids in the car, you know, you want to cover their ears or something, but this is the first time I really do think there is a danger of a nuclear conflict between Russia and the West. You know, back in the Cuban Missile Crisis, I don't think so, because there were competent people even in the Soviet Union in that era, okay, who knew the dangers. This guy is completely out of control and is insane, Putin, right now. He's insane and desperate.
Yeah, they said 2 years now he hasn't acted normal. He's acting very erratic. That's number one. Number two, he's got 40,000 Ukrainian troops sitting by Crimea that are surrounded. There's not peace talks today. Those talks, according to this military guy, he says, stop believing in fairy tales. They're going to either surrender today or they're going to be annihilated. 40,000 soldiers.
I don't. The soldiers may surrender. I don't think we're going to. You know. I mean, how did this happen? Things turn quickly.
Biden was late at the switch. We saw this coming a long time ago, and he did nothing about it. I mean, absolutely nothing. The whole group of them are more worried about the Green New Deal. And the last thing I'm going to say to you, by the way, you promoted your show, and I was laughing. You promoted your show on, and I think it was Saturday or Sunday morning. I finally found somebody who's more pro-Trump than you.
Oh, yes, the king of the world. Yes, I thought that was Leonardo DiCaprio was the king of the world. But, yeah, my weekend live stream, that was Saturday, yeah. Yeah, I know.
Well, I hate to say this. We don't...
Yeah. No, this is scary. All right, Richie the bus driver. Take care. By the way, on my YouTube streams I do from my home studio, I also take live calls there. All right, let's take our break for the bottom of the hour. This is not fun stuff. I would very much not having to talk about this, but it's got to be talked about. We are at a level of tension between the United States and Russia that I don't think we've ever been in before. All right, let's take our break here for the bottom of the hour. Our number's toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE 1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from? What's up?
My name is Stacy.
So I just got an interesting email from a friend, and I just texted it over to you.
Oh, that's
about when one country invades another country, it's usually because they want something that country has.
Oh, yeah, I just got it, yeah.
Whole list of everything that they've got that they want.
Oh, yeah, I'll read over it. Thanks.
Well, you know, Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca, they do great work, and I want to thank you for calling. And I learned something about Champagne Automotive Repair from you in this call. I did not know that they actually did repairs on hybrid vehicles.
What had happened was when I brought it to the dealership, they were like, well, we want to do this, we want to do that. And when I heard about Champagne Automotive, I called when I got there, and I said, he goes, well, I already ordered the oil filter.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. And so I dropped it off. I don't have many people to take me back home. And so he ordered Uber for me.
Wow.
Yes.
That's service. Thank you for the call as well, and anyone else out there, Champagne Automotive Repair, their prices are great. They'll never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle doesn't need. Their number is 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. And what's your name, caller?
My name is Stacy, and thank you very much, Champagne Automotive, and thank you very much, Brian and Steve.
For Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
Wesley, $20 super chat. Thank you. Please thank Wesley, everyone. The current U.S. regime are traitors for hire, China, Russia, etc. Yeah. Yeah.
Brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-37 and listen to the Steve Kane Show on
Alrighty, 32 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, live this Monday morning. Steve will be joining us in progress later in the show. It's really scary how fast things have turned. And what I was talking about on Friday, I stick with today. I think that Biden and his group of cronies want another Cold War. It's what I was talking about a lot on Friday, and I think they thought this was a great idea, really, to get a new Cold War going. And I think NATO didn't mind that either. But things have gotten out of control. This is, and when I heard that the sanctions were spreading to the SWIFT bank, when I first heard that, I was out and about, and I saw it on Twitter, I thought for a very brief moment, wow, Biden, he's actually doing something that's meaningful, cutting him off from his money, and then you find out it's only 80% of the banks, that 20% of them are still okay. So what do those people do? They just take their money out of those banks and put them in the 20% that are still operating. Plus, the United States and Europe are still spending hundreds of millions of dollars a day buying oil from Putin. So we're funding this war. I heard a story over the weekend. They said Putin only has 10 to 15 days worth of money to supply the military in Ukraine. I don't know how true that is or not, but we're giving them hundreds of millions of dollars each and every day buying oil. There needs to be a complete embargo on everything Russian. Everything. The banking, the tourism, the oil, the natural gas, whatever it is. If there's cruise ships up there in St. Petersburg, they need to stop. If there's tourists out over on the Alaska side of Russia, they need to be recalled. That all has to stop too. Whatever it is, I don't care if it's some fish that some local guy is buying for some Russian fishing ship off Alaska. It's got to stop. This is the most dangerous place we have ever been, and I'm not hearing anything about communications. I don't know how real the red phone thing was between the White House and Moscow, but Biden said the other day he has no plans on speaking to Putin. What the hell is that about? He's getting his nuclear weapons ready. What do you mean you don't have any plans to talk to him? Are you kidding me? Our embassy just said Americans get out of Russia. That we will not be able to evacuate you, which is true. We can't send in the Marines to evacuate Americans in Russia. Oh boy. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
How you doing, Brian? This is Mike from New York.
Hey, Mike. What's up?
I got a pretty much whole different view on this. I watched taped a couple shows over the weekend, and I think this is the greatest thing that can happen to Biden. I think he loves this because everything's on Putin. Nobody mentions the border, inflation. I haven't heard one word about gas prices. Just went up 19 cents over the weekend in New York City. It's almost $5 a gallon. Nobody said a word. Not even New York.
Regular unleaded is over $6 in parts of California already.
So I'm just saying, rising crime. You don't hear a word about the school board anymore, and all of a sudden now there's the mask mandate. They changed 2 days before the State of the Union address. What a coincidence.
No, but this is, this was true this time last week, but over the past 3 or 4 days, things have taken a very dangerous turn. And we've gone from something that was like a good distraction from Biden, from his point of view, to something that's incredibly dangerous. We are closer to a nuclear conflict maybe than we've ever been before.
And he's funny. He said, "We'll get in touch next month. We'll see how everything's going."
If the world is still here next month. What day is the State of the Union, by the way? Do you know offhand what day?
I thought it was.
Isn't it? Yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay. Hey, Mike in New York. Take care. Thanks for the call. What is one thing positive? What do you expect from the State of the Union? I don't really want to hear Biden talk at the State of the Union. I really. Do you guys want to hear? I'm not. The State of the Union is. We're in trouble. Yeah. No. It's tomorrow night. It's tomorrow night. What do you expect Biden to say tomorrow night at the State of the Union? The state, presidents have a line that they love to say in the state, all of them. The State of the Union is strong. How can you say that? The State of the Union is we're on the verge truly, we're on the verge of a third world war. What I was talking about over the weekend on my live streams, I mentioned at the beginning of the show. This, in the end, could result in Putin being overthrown. And I was talking at the top of the hour here that maybe Putin was concerned about losing his grip on power and started a war to do his own wag the dog to firm up his power, and things have gotten out of hand and have not gone as well as he thought. In fact, the Ukrainian president it's a shocker to me. How the Ukrainians are some tough people, man, and they're standing up. The Ukrainians are standing up to Russia like the Russians stood up to the Nazis when they invaded. I mean, what's going on is just a miraculous thing. What's going on is like the miracle of Dunkirk here that's going on, the Battle of Britain. It's really amazing how. And by the way, you liberals out there that hate our Second Amendment. Look at how the right to own and bear arms in Ukraine has saved their country and stopped the entire Red Army. I mean, this is, boy, oh boy. This is a moment whenever they get back to their gun grabbing again, we just have to point them to Ukraine and say, look what happened. Look what a bunch of individual gun owners have done. But Biden's State of the Union we're screwed. I mean, there's really... How can you applaud anything this guy does? Unless he comes out tomorrow and cuts off everything from Russia, it's going to be rough. All right, 39 minutes after the hour, our number, toll free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Brad calling from California.
California. What's up, California?
I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't want to talk about it, but what's your point of view of Trump threat?
What happened? Yes. Yeah, he would threaten that. He says force is the only thing that this guy understands. And he's on a move because America's weak. I mean, I think it's significant to point out that, and President Trump talked about this in his speech the other night. Putin was on the move during Bush, Obama, and now Biden, and he did not make any moves when Trump was in office. He was afraid of Trump. The other ones, especially this one, he wasn't. So I think that's significant. So I think Trump knows how to handle Putin because the other presidents of the 21st century, during their time, Putin made huge gains and huge moves, which he didn't do during the 4 years of President Trump's first term. So I think that says a lot about President Trump and his wisdom involving Putin, don't you?
Well, Well, yeah, I mean, Putin was talking about, that this Biden's been a senator for many years. He knows his play. He knows the game plan. And, now look at this position that we're in right now. This is horrible.
Joe Biden in 13 months has lost the war on terror, right? Left thousands of Americans to be held hostage in Afghanistan by the Taliban. And we had to evacuate that country. And here we are today on the verge of World War III, and another embassy, the embassy in Moscow, has told Americans to get out of Russia immediately. I mean,
Now, this is news to me. Get out, all Americans.
Of Russia. The U.S. Embassy in Moscow issued an alert to all U.S. citizens in all of Russia. Get out immediately. We do not have the ability to evacuate you. Get out while you can. Scary.
How about the oil from Russia?
Well, that should be cut off. That should be cut off.
Is it cut off right now?
No, the United States and all of our allies are spending hundreds of millions of dollars each and every day buying oil from Russia.
So I don't know.
Basically, Joe Biden, you're in California. Most people in California don't know what's going on in the world. That's why it's so left out there. It's true. What part of California are you in?
I'm in the Bay Area.
Oh, my goodness. Really?
I was born here.
Yeah?
I was born in Berkeley.
Well, people can move. Is Nancy Pelosi your congressperson?
Oh, yeah.
Really? How does that make you feel?
For her, but
You didn't vote for her? Who'd you vote for president? Who'd you vote for president?
I voted for Trump, but born and raised here. We're not buying into this, What we have here is usually people coming in from...
Do you live in... Where do you live? Do you actually live in San Francisco? Where do you live?
No, it's Walnut Creek. It's on the East Bay.
How far away? Okay, how far away is that from, like...
I should know this. Like 25.
25 miles, yeah. I mean, what does it cost you every month for your rent or mortgage there?
It's ridiculous.
Like what? Around what? Do you pay rent or do you own?
I pay rent.
How much is your rent? $2,500 a month and how big is your place?
It's a studio.
A studio apartment, $2,500 a month? Oh my goodness. You got to be rich to live out there.
Yeah. But I'm concerned about, our country.
Yeah, well, hey, you should be... listen, our country is being run by California in many ways. We got Nancy Pelosi and we got Kamala Harris.
They can be replaced.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I feel like people here, they're not even from here.
They're not even what?
Revolving door people. It's revolving door people.
Yeah, but it was liberal. It was always liberal out there before the door started revolving.
Yeah, I get. Yes.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Appreciate the call. I know it's early in the morning out there. You're 3 hours behind us, so it's quarter to 4 o'clock in the morning out there. All right. Take care. Thanks for the call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. This is Dane. I'm calling from Abilene, Texas.
All right, Dane in Texas. What's up?
I'm 68, and I live maybe 3 miles line of sight from the front gate of Dyess Air Force Base, also known as the home of the B-1 bomber.
Oh, great. Have they been flying out of there?
I'm an Air Force brat. I come from a long line of Air Force people, but I've been staying closely in touch with this situation going on, and I don't mind telling you, I am deeply, deeply concerned. I'm starting to sweat it, wondering if I should move 2 miles line of sight from a major nuclear.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting. So you feel that you feel like I do that we're closer to a nuclear conflict than we've ever been, maybe even closer than during the Cuban Missile Crisis.
Absolutely. We have definitely crossed that line, and we've already made plans on, we both work full-time jobs, but we both have two-way radios in case the cell phone system went down. And if we did hear that there was a pending strike, we have plans to get in our vehicles and dash as fast as we can to a site about 80 miles away from here where we hope the wind would be blowing the other direction.
Mm.
Thank you.
We might have to jump the border to Mexico. No targets there.
Well, I'm in Abilene, so I'm about 700 miles north of the border, so that would be a long hop. But yeah, I feel exactly as you do.
Yeah. But no matter what about the winds, the blast would blow out the electronics in your car.
Right.
So
we have a place that a depression down in the ground, down at the bottom of a big hill about 70 miles from here, that if we can get to it, we have a place there that we can stay, someplace out in the country where there's water and hopefully some safety.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate the call. If I got that call on Friday, I'd be laughing at the guy. 47 minutes after the hour, we'll take our last break of the first hour of the program. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years on the Florida radio airwaves this year, the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing, and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting.
If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And everybody else, please like the video.
Concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to the Steve Kane Show.
Brian Craig here. You've heard us talk about the great low prices Friendly Tire has on new tires and used tires. They also do tire repairs. Listen to one of our listeners talk about their experience at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Hey Brian, my name is Mike. Just wanted to call and say thank you. I had a problem with my car. I had a flat tire was going down really quick. I'm in Coral Springs. I had to go somewhere close by. They couldn't really fix it. So I remember you guys are talking about Friendly Mike at Friendly Tires. So I said, listen, Mike, I need a couple of tires. I told him my son. He goes, I got them. I go, I'll see you tomorrow. They were really cheap. I go over there, and Mike said, which tires do you want to replace? They look relatively new. I said, they are. I just got a big hole in that one. And they said they couldn't be fixed. He goes, pull your vehicle in. I pulled the vehicle in. He took the tire off. He pulled out the plug that the guy in Coral Springs put in there, and he heat shielded it. He kind of patched it or whatever they call it. I don't know what they call it. And he goes, you don't need any tires. He goes, I fixed that one. Give me $20. But the guy in Coral Springs wanted $500 for 2 tires. I just wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys. I love you guys. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day.
Give Mike at Friendly Tire a call right now. We'll give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Don't waste time going anywhere else. You will never find prices as low as Friendly Tire in Margate.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
Welcome back, everyone. It is 10 before 7. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Oh, man. Florida's longest-running radio show. By the way, Friendly Tire in Margate. New tires out the door and on the road as low as $70 a tire. That's right. And that's out the door and on the road. Brand new tires. because Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire does not charge you to balance the tire, mount the tire, dispose of your old tire. The price he quotes you over the phone is out the door and on the road. Give him a call, 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Friendly Mike with Friendly Tire in Margate. Oh, man. You know, there was a story. A lot of people were laughing at public radio, NPR, over the weekend. And I saw this story, too, and got a bit of a chuckle that National Public Radio was actually telling their listeners on how to cope and deal with the stress of Ukraine. Let me tell you something. The last 2 years have been, as Americans, I think some of the most stressful times in our life since the last 2 years in this country, from a mental health standpoint, have probably not been this bad since the Great Depression. Because we had our lockdowns and shutdowns, and that involves people's financial security and supporting their families. We've had a crime wave going on in this country that's uncontrolled. We had a pandemic and everything involved with that. And now we're dealing with what's going on with Russia. And everyone making fun of NPR trying to help their listeners cope. I'm not going to do that. I think we do need to find a way to cope. Maybe we need to have Dr. Lemaski on the show this week, because these are very scary times we're in. And I know a lot of people that do shows like this are always trying to scare the hell out of you, like Glenn Beck. Glenn Beck, the world's been ending every second he's been on the air that I've ever heard the guy, you know, with the survival seeds and all this stuff. And I'm not saying the world's ending, but we're in a very bad spot. And a large part of that problem is because the guy who's the president of the United States is not just incompetent, evil, and corrupt. He's cognitively checked out. Who is now? Let me ask you, and I want you to answer this question. And this is a serious question. This crisis we are in right now with Russia is beyond. We're now beyond Ukraine. And by the way, if you're just tuning in, I started the hour. Just let me recap. The United States Embassy in Moscow has sent out an alert to all American citizens inside Russia to leave immediately, that they have no way to evacuate American citizens from Russia, and to leave immediately. And in the press release, they capitalized every letter of immediately. And this is a situation we've never been in before with Russia. I have never heard of the U.S. Embassy telling American citizens to leave Russia immediately like this. Never heard this before. This is new. This is like the Berlin blockade and the Cuban Missile Crisis combined. You put and also we're getting movement with the nuclear arsenal of Russia, which I don't believe that has ever happened, at least not when it was publicly known. So stress levels are high, and I've heard people a lot of things changed over the weekend. A lot of things changed, and none of it good. And I've heard more people over the weekend say that Putin is mentally unstable, and some have said they have known him for years, have met with him many times, and he's different now. So let's not make fun of the snowflakes over on NPR, all right, about this, because are you worried? Sir, I am. I really, truly am. But let me ask you this question. In this crisis we are in, who does Joe Biden have around him that he can take credible advice from on how to handle this situation? Can you think of anyone around Biden who you would trust to give him advice on how to deal with this situation? I can't. No one. Not Milley. Our defense secretary is checked out, and our Secretary of State is the wimpiest Secretary of State I've ever seen. And who he really should be consulting with, he won't, and that's President Trump. You know, Kennedy sought out the advice on the down low, so people didn't know, from Eisenhower during his time with the Cuban Missile Crisis, because he had dealings with the Russians. He knew them because he was partnered with them in the Second World War, and of course his term as president, 2 terms. But Biden won't do that. He won't. And that's across party lines, by the way. Remember, Eisenhower was a Republican, Kennedy was a Democrat. Things are too partisan right now. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian. This is Will. How you doing, man?
All right, speak up, Will. Having a hard time hearing you.
I said this is Will. How are you doing?
I'm all right. The stress level's high, but I'm all right.
I understand. I wanted to talk a minute about about the nukes, right? If the nukes, could they reach America?
Of course. Of course.
To as well, right?
Oh yeah, we could. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's great. Wonderful. Yeah.
We have nukes too as well, right?
Yes.
So if Putin was to send nukes to us, we could retaliate and send nukes back to him.
Oh yeah, sure. And where does that leave us? What does that give you comfort? What does that mean to you?
There would be no winner, but I mean, I don't know if we're trying to win something at this point,
Well, the problem is, if many people have reported that Putin is insane right now, that he's something's happened, he's changed. This mutual destruction scenario doesn't mean anything to a crazy person.
So he's working like he has nothing to lose.
It seems that way. I mean, so when you're dealing with someone who has yeah, go ahead.
I've been watching these. Go ahead.
No, you talk. Go ahead.
I've been watching the whole war breaking out in Ukraine these past couple of days, and I'm just astonished, man. I can't believe what I'm seeing on YouTube, and I mean it's heartbreaking. It really is. But it makes me also think about our country too as well. That if it came down to it, that we would have to, I don't know if we're going to go into a military operation or we're going to go into a nuclear operation.
Well, if this were like, if we had competent leadership instead of senile old men and critical race theorists running the country, what would happen is this: like if Putin or if Trump were president, or back in the Reagan era, for example, or even either of the Bushes, even Clinton, even Obama, what the other presidents would do is call an emergency summit meeting between the President of the United States and the President of Russia. They would meet somewhere and iron things out. But we have a bunch of critical race theorists around a man who's psychologically checked out and isn't even capable of such a meeting. Yeah.
Putin loves Russia, right? I mean, he loves the Russian.
Before it now, what Putin loves more than anything is his power. And money is power, and I think that I started thinking over the weekend that Putin did this because he was losing grip on power, and he did his own wag the dog, starting a war to solidify his position. All Putin cares is about himself. Listen, thanks for the call. I got to run for a break. It's top of the hour, 7 a.m. 1 hour down, 2 to go. Your calls are welcome at 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
So you
You've been told you need a health test. What are you going to have to pay? Health tests can be very expensive. If you go to your doctor's office or one of the big labs, it can cost you hundreds of dollars.
Yes, it can.
Lab test because of the cost. Then I discovered Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs' goal is to get you all the lab tests you need, save you money, and get you in and out in 15 minutes or less. At Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs, you never need an appointment, no doctor's order, or prescription needed either. You can walk right in and have any of their thousands of lab tests done for just a fraction of the price the big labs or your doctor's office charge. Give them a call, 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. Any Lab Test Now of Coral Springs. Private and affordable lab testing. 954-906-5983. Attention seniors and those who care about them. This is Brian Craig. I'm in studio with Debbie from I Will Advisors. She has an incredible new service to tell you about called I Will Advocates. Debbie, what is I Will Advocates and how are you helping seniors?
Well, Brian, over the past few years of owning a Medicare insurance agency, we've learned...
I'll do a recap, Melita, after the break. It's not good what's happened. Not good.
And that's where we step in.
There's a lot of things that seniors need help with.
A lot of bad things going on.
Appointments, things like this. How do you help them with that?
If you're having a problem at the doctor's office, having problems scheduling an appointment in a timely manner, we can...
If you're new here, make sure that you subscribe and everyone click that notification bell, as well as like the video. All that helps spread the word about my channel to others.
There for you at a touch of a button, whether it's to call the nurse's station or assist in any other way.
So if someone's in the hospital, they feel they're not getting the care that they need, they haven't seen their doctor, they haven't seen their nurse, they can actually call you and you'll contact the hospital for them?
Absolutely. We act as your family. We'll step up, we'll call the nurse's station and ask for some assistance. If we can't get anything done there, we'll go to the higher levels.
Now, this is a service that you're offering. Now, they do not have an existing client of I Will Advisors to take advantage of this, right?
Oh, of course not. No, we're here for any Medicare client. We can assist in any way. We don't need to be your insurance agent. We're just here to help you with your medical needs.
This is an incredible opportunity for those of you who are Medicare recipients. Debbie at I Will Advocates will help you with your prescriptions. You'll set up doctor's appointments for them, including the primary care physician and specialist, right?
Of course. We'll assist in anything to help you find new doctors.
They'll help you with your medical billing. They'll help you with your insurance billing. If you feel you've been billed wrong by your doctor, they'll step in for that and even help you if you're in the hospital. Basically, what you're offering is a concierge service to senior citizens.
That's exactly it.
That's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before. So how much does this cost?
Well, for just $20 a month, you will have the security of knowing that you have an experienced, compassionate advocate just a touch of a button away.
To learn more, call Debbie's office. The number, 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Or go online. You can sign up online at iwilladvocates.com. That's iwilladvocates.com.
All right, we're coming back, guys. Steve Kane Show. Hey, hold on.
You are listening to SCREENLESS Radio Show, the Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1. That's 1-888. Go.
All right, welcome to the program, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. 5 minutes after the hour, and let me do a quick recap. Before I bring up anything new, I'll do a quick recap, go to the phones, and then bring up some other topics, some other stories involving this very scary situation we're in. I woke up this morning, first story I saw, the United States Embassy in Moscow has sent out an alert to all Americans inside of Russia. Leave immediately. They capitalized every letter of immediately. Leave immediately. We do not have the ability to evacuate you. To my knowledge, this is the first time that issue has that warning has ever been issued from the United States Embassy in Russia in our history. I don't think that's ever happened before. Do you know of a time when it's happened? From Russia? Scary times we're in. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Paula from Freehold.
Yes. Hey, New Jersey. What's up?
Hey. Yes. I don't think Putin is a madman. I think what he's doing makes perfect sense. Fox News had a colonel on last night. I can't remember which person had him on, but it was Colonel McGregor, and he made perfect sense. He's saying that Putin has been upset about this NATO thing with Ukraine for years. This pushing, and he's finally taken action. He also mentioned the two republics who are being terrorized by the Ukraine authorities. As a reason, Putin's going in.
Oh, so you're making it sound like what does that mean? What does that mean? So there's a, and I don't use this term loosely like the rest of the media do, and the liberals love it, but it sounds to me like you heard a Russian propagandist on Fox News telling you that Vladimir Putin's riding in on his white horse and saving us from the Ukrainians.
Us. He was talking about the republics in Russia, and he was talking about, my goodness, what if Taiwan started saying that they wanted to be part of NATO? Do you think China would be as patient as Russia has been? I mean, this has been going.
Oh, so patient. Okay, so he's been patient. So your scenario makes Putin look like he's doing the right thing and acting appropriately. What do you think about Putin preparing his nuclear weapons? Why would he be? Ukraine doesn't have a nuclear weapon. Why would he be doing that?
Okay, I don't know. I don't know if I even believe that's true. I mean, there's so much.
Living in denial makes things a lot easier.
Well, okay, so let's say he is. Let's say he's just doing it for a bluff, okay? Because he's not crazy. If he was crazy, I'd be more worried about him.
What makes you say he's not crazy? I've heard many people say in the last few days that he's changed, that he is not he's not himself, that he's changed, that he is gone insane.
Well, I mean, let's just look at his actions, okay?
He invaded a country. Yeah, his actions are. He invaded a sovereign country that didn't provoke the attack.
How sovereign was it? I mean,
well, they've been an independent. Ukraine has been an independent nation since 1991.
Right, I understand that, but we've been putting our puppets in there. Like, we have been running the government over there.
Well, that's a good thing. If the United States is running the government of a country, that's a good thing in theory, isn't it?
No, it's not. When Biden is in there stealing all their money and all this corruption has been going on, my gosh. Good thing.
Putin has, like, killed opponents, right? Poisoned people, things like this.
I know, he's a bad guy. I get it. But I don't see his actions as being crazy. I think they make sense.
Well, he's either crazy or completely evil. Or you think it makes sense. So you think he's doing the right thing.
I do, because it's his border. It's right next to him. These people in the Republic are Russians. They want.
No, they're Ukrainian. They're Ukrainian.
That are there that he just recognized. They're Russian-speaking people.
Yeah.
Terrorized. They have been terrorized by the Ukrainian authorities.
Says who?
Says them.
Says Russia. Says yeah. Those territories. What do you expect? If they're saying that their territories have been completely overrun by the Russian army. So if they're saying what you're saying, what other choice do they have?
They have a choice between our corrupt leaders running their country or Putin running their country.
Well, I think listen, Biden is corrupt. Ukraine is kind of like a Wild West place, and a lot of American government officials like Joe Biden have been raping the country and have all these corrupt deals going on. We understand that. But I would rather our corrupt leaders, that's Biden, run something than Putin.
At this point, no way. Like,
really?
There's more of a threat.
Russia has more nuclear warheads than we have, and they're pointed to American targets.
Okay, but I don't believe it's a real threat. I think it's just, if it's true, I just don't think I think it's a bluff, because Putin is not crazy. He understands.
Why do you say he's not crazy? How are you so sure he's not?
Because what he's doing makes sense to me.
World domination. Invading sovereign countries. He's invaded right now. He is sending in a team of mercenaries after his first group of Chechens failed with a deck of cards to hunt down Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, and the top government officials and take him out.
Corrupt.
But isn't he corrupt, Putin? Maybe. But Zelensky is.
Is this corrupt?
Putin's worse because Putin is the one who launched an army into Ukraine. Putin is the one who's got his nuclear arsenal on alert with warheads that are aimed towards U.S. targets.
President of Ukraine, oh my goodness, he was elected. He had his own production company, made his own TV show, started in as president, primed the people there.
Yeah, I know. He was an entertainer. He was an actor and comedian. I know. He was even on Dancing with the Stars.
Designed the whole thing. It was his production company that did it. He was voted in with over 70%. Now his poll numbers are as low as Joe Biden's.
Oh, I don't know about that. I bet his poll numbers would be pretty high today since he's standing. He could have left Ukraine. He can leave Ukraine right now, and he's been standing strong, defending his country.
About him doing this.
Well, the propaganda I think you've been watching. You just called and telling me Putin's a good guy.
Listen to me. There are old pictures of him being circulated right now as if he's fighting the front lines, and he's not. I don't think it's a good guy who hands out AK-47s to women who have never used them before and saying, "Here, fight the Russian army." That's only.
Do you know what the Russian army historically has done when they overrun a country? What? Tell me. What have they done to the women?
Oh my goodness! I know.
They've raped the women. They raped. Hold on. They raped the women. So I think it makes sense. I didn't think this last week, but there's been a major turn of events over the weekend. Would you rather these Ukrainian women be unarmed and become rape victims, or them have AK-47s to fight off the rapists with?
I would rather Ukraine surrender to Putin, and they are right now talking peace talk right now. There is the news that has been coming out of there is not true. There's no way you.
Well, how do you know it's not true? You believe what you want to believe.
The army, they're going to win this. There's no question.
Oh, really? It's being reported. It's been reported today that after 5 days of war, the Russian army has not achieved one of their military objectives. In fact, the Ukrainians killed that Chechen general. It's being reported by every embedded journalist over there that's American.
I know, and they're wondering what he's doing because he went in with a small army and not very good fighters and old weapon equipment. But this is all part of his strategy because he doesn't want to decimate the citizens. He wants to go in. He sent them in for intel so that he can find out where the Ukrainians are putting their military equipment. It was where they search for the weapons. That's what's been.
All right. Hey, listen, I appreciate the call. All right, comrade, take care. Oh my goodness. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, good morning, Conservative.
Yes, Doug.
I don't know what's going on over there, but I'm hoping I heard something wrong. That Putin is thinking about using this weapon that he has. It's supposedly not nuclear, that levels a square mile.
Yes, that's correct. You heard that correct. Yes.
Man, if that's true, then he's going to be attacked by NATO, I think.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh my goodness, that's terrible.
And then, it's terrible, man. This is, I don't know why we have to go through this. What the hell do we need that property for?
Yeah.
Going on, and
well, it's not just disgusting, it's frightening. Hey, by the way, Doug, I got to run for a break. Thanks for the call. If you're on hold, stand by. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's our number. 1-888-465-2631.
Dr. Matez here from the Biostation West Delray.
What do you guys think of that
With the famous erection injection.
Moscow Molly there that called me?
Dysfunction made popular right here on the Steve Kane Show. I'm here to tell you that the erection injection is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the extensive array of treatment options now available at the Biostation West Delray. Our custom compounded products yield combinations and dosages that increase the efficacy of Viagra and Cialis greatly. We also offer treatments that can correct the problem at its source, such as PRP.
If you're new here, make sure you subscribe, and everyone, please like the video as well.
State-of-the-art testing and the most current treatment options all available in one place. The Biostation West.
What points does she have that's valid, Jeffrey?
Problems once and for all. Call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
This is Lori Kane, and I want to talk to you about Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting. We needed a new roof, and we knew we needed a new roof, but we just procrastinated. We saw wet spots on the ceilings. We called Tom Laporta, and he came out and did a free roof inspection, which he does for everybody, not just us. And sure enough,
She hides her accent real good, yeah.
it was only going to get worse. He dealt with our HOA association. He fixed our roof. Not only did he take care of the roof, he took care of the ceiling stains. So they removed all the popcorn, they cleaned everything up, they painted, they sealed inside and out. Everything is beautiful. And
Steve Kane Show.
When we get those hard South Florida rainstorms, it is such
Hold on.
a pleasure to listen to the raindrops on the roof and not have to worry about it leaking or causing further problems. The staff was courteous, and Tom answered every question. Call Tom Laporta for a free roof inspection. He does residential and commercial properties, and his cell number is 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602. Make sure you tell him Lori Kane sent you.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price.
All right, we're coming back, guys. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. Everyone, please like the video, too. That helps a lot. Spread the word about my content.
Thank you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for
Oh, man. Moscow Molly there. That last caller was a rough one. All right, 888-GO-KANE-1 is our number. 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Good morning.
It's Ricardo from Deerfield Beach.
Hey, Ricardo. What's up?
Hey, man, it's crazy what's going on in the world with Putin. And I heard about the nuclear weapons and stuff like that, but I didn't heard you talking about, for example, that he also tried to, throw the ISS International Station in U.S. or Europe, or also that he's planning to invade Finland and Sweden.
He's planning on invading Finland? I've not heard that. That I've not heard. I've heard that from the first time from you.
If you Google that, you'll see that.
No, I believe it. I mean, things are different today than they were Friday. A lot's happened over the weekend. Things are a lot more serious today.
The lady before the break is even crazier than Putin.
Well, what the deal is with Moscow Molly there, the last caller, she started by saying she was watching a retired colonel, like she said on Fox. I don't know whose show it was, but when it comes to Ukraine, most of us in this country don't typically follow Ukraine. We know there's a lot of political corruption with our officials there and everything. And people come to conclusions based on what news and information they expose themselves to, typically. So she saw a guy who's an expert and gave some analysis, and she believed it. And what she took away from that is she heard basically an American who was giving out Russian propaganda is what she heard.
He's the hero saving
the world.
yeah, yeah.
Now, listen, the Ukrainian government and Zelensky are corrupt. There's no getting around it. They're corrupt. There's all kinds of things over there. Zelensky is not a person who's a freedom-loving person like we are and how President Trump is, right? But he's not the aggressor here. Putin is. So the question is, why is he doing this? I don't think he did this because of the NATO. I don't think he did it because he didn't want Ukraine to become part of NATO. I think he did it, like I said earlier, I believe maybe he was feeling a little weak, and he did a wag the dog situation to strengthen his position and solidify his power in Russia. But I'm really believing that these acts of desperation that he's doing here, Putin, I think, very well could find himself overthrown, removed from power, because there's a lot of powerful, wealthy people in Russia. They all hate him, and they're all scared of him, and they want him out anyway.
And Brian, let me ask you: don't you think something bigger is about to happen as well? Because I see on the news, for example, North Korea restarting their long-range rocket launch, and China supporting Russia and threatening to invade Taiwan. I see many of those communist red countries getting united.
Yeah, well, this is the deal. After the Second World War, there was a reason why there has not been a Third World War yet. And you know what that reason was? What has prevented a Third World War? Do you know? Maybe you don't.
I don't know, but
well, I'll tell you. The reason there's not been a Third World War is because the United States has been a stabilizing force in the world. And now we have this senile old coot who's incompetent, corrupt, and in a severe state of cognitive decline. And the leadership behind him are just as checked out in different ways. And this is what the world is like without America in it, basically. That's what's going on here. This is all happening because of Biden. But he's going to have a Supreme Court that looks like America, so that's what's important right now.
The bottom line is America is looking weak, and the others are, putting their...
America's not looking weak. America's checked out right now with Biden. We're not, Hey, listen, appreciate the call from Deerfield. And if this were any president, even Obama, Clinton, any president, there would be a summit meeting, an emergency summit meeting taking place somewhere between the President of the United States and Putin. And Biden says he has no plans on even talking to Putin. Now listen to this. Russian state television presenter Dmitry Kisilov appeared to threaten nuclear war during a broadcast. According to a translation, he contemplated, quote, we need the world if Russia won't be in it? He asked the question. According to a translation from Financial Times Moscow bureau chief Max Sedin, the host told viewers, quote, submarines alone, these are Russian submarines alone can launch more than 500 nuclear warheads, which guarantees the destruction of the U.S. and NATO for good measure. The principle is, why do we need the world if Russia won't be in it? He said this on television. I mean, that's... and keep in mind, Russia's entire nuclear arsenal, land-based and submarine-based, has been placed on special alert. And I think that's confirmed. There's been so much reporting on it, it must be confirmed that it's happened. And with this talk, like I just shared with you, going out live on Russian television, my goodness. And, Putin's got a lot to prove right now. Over the weekend, across the entire country of Russia, there was something that they've never had in Russia, to my knowledge, anti-war protest. There were anti-war protests throughout all of Russia over the weekend. Putin's not going to just sit back and pull back now. He's got to show that he is the man. This is really a very, very bad time we're in. This is not fun and games. This is not a time for partisan politics involving this. You know, here we've got the State of the Union tomorrow. Oh my goodness. I imagine Biden's going to stay pretty much away from this. Did you guys catch Trump at CPAC Saturday night? Was that not the best speech President Trump's given in a long time? I mean, you know, his speech, and he's got another rally coming up in a few days in South Carolina, which we'll talk about later. But because I want to pull up the details, I don't have the details in front of me. But that speech of President Trump's was the best in a long time for two reasons. One, it was relevant dealing with the issues that we're dealing with today in this country. And then President Trump announced that he's running for president in 2024. He announced it, that he's running for president. Listen.
They're going to find out the hard way starting on November 8th, and then again even more so on November 2024. They will find out like never before.
That's right.
We did it twice, and we'll do it again. We're going to be doing it again a third time.
He announced his run. He's running for president for a third time, and you heard the crowd go nuts. I mean, that is, to me, that's an official announcement. That was it. You know, and as I was watching, I know, isn't that amazing? Makes you feel good. Oh man. Problem is, what's going to be left of the country and the world in 2024? Russia has their nuclear weapons on alert, which may be the first time this has ever happened. Were the nuclear weapons of Russia put on alert during the Cuban Missile Crisis? I don't know. I've never heard this happening before. But that was an official announcement, and I don't think it's something he planned. I think he just did it. I think he decided Saturday that he was going to do it. Because things are so bad, he had to give us hope to hang in there, that help's coming. Now, sadly, it's 3 years away. In 3 years, I mean, look at what this guy, Biden, has done in just a year. Can you imagine this times 3? And it's only going to get worse, and the problems are going to be deeper and deeper each and every time. Now, I want to take a moment, guys, to tell you about the Thomas Edison of sleep, the inventor of the MyPillow, Mike Lindell, and this incredible special with the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. You know, my wife and I, we got the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, which is 50% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. It's a better deal than I got on mine. And the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, this is the lowest price ever on this. It is a life-changing product from Mike Lindell. You know, everything Mike Lindell makes is of high quality, top quality. And, you know, when you have the full Mike Lindell MyPillow sleep system, it will change your life. You know, your day begins by waking up well rested. And that MyPillow mattress topper, the way that I describe it is, it's just you wake up in complete serenity, well rested. You know, what I noticed about it right away, we got it in April, and I remember it so well. I was at the gun show, and I was on my way home from the gun show, and my wife called and said the MyPillow mattress topper arrived, and we made the bed with it right then, and we slept on it that night. We got the MyPillow mattress topper because my wife, you know, was suffering from back pain, and we got a pretty new mattress. She was suffering from back pain. And one of our listeners had gotten the MyPillow mattress topper, and they talked about how their back pain disappeared with it. So my wife said, let's get it. My back's it's killing me. We got it. We put it on immediately. We slept on it that first night on a Saturday. We woke up on Sunday morning. For the first time in years, I woke up on Sunday, and it was sunny out. You know, I get up so early during the week. On the weekends, I typically wake up early too, and I slept in on Sunday, which I had not done in years, because I slept so well and peacefully. Got a full night's sleep on that MyPillow mattress topper. My wife, she woke up, her back pain was gone. and it has not returned. It's absolutely amazing. During the week, I wake up with the alarm clock. Never did that before. I always woke up before my alarm went off. No more. Not with the MyPillow 3-inch mattress topper. It's 50% off with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. And this is how you get this deal at the MyPillow website. Go to MyPillow.com. On the right, scroll down till you see Mike Lindell holding the American flag. Click that picture. It'll take you to the page where the deal is. 50% off the MyPillow mattress topper, the lowest price ever on the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper with the promo code KANE at checkout. K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. And remember, whatever special you see at MyPillow.com and Mike Lindell's My Store, you can take advantage of with our promo code KANE at checkout, no matter what it says. But click on that picture of Mike Lindell with the American flag. It'll take you to the special with the 50% off the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper. It will change your life, I promise you. Again, you can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E.
Think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody who tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to any lab test now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro. Call them at 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for W.
All right, welcome back. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 45 years this year on the radio, the Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Our number, toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Now, of course, tomorrow's the State of the Union with Biden. Oh, boy. And he nominated for the Supreme Court Ketanji Brown. Is that how you say her name? Ketanji? Strange name for a Supreme Court justice. And I learned something about Ketanji Brown. She's going to be on the Supreme Court. Unless something insane happens and they uncover some huge scandal, which I don't expect, she's going to be on the Supreme Court. The only saving grace in that is that she's replacing another liberal, so it's still going to be a conservative court if we count Justice Roberts on our side, Chief Justice Roberts. But we'll have a Supreme Court that looks more like America, Joe Biden says, because, of course, this was a racially segregated position. Hispanics, Asians, whites need not apply. Native American, Inuits, that's the new word for Eskimos, need not apply. It had to be an African American woman. And he got that. But I learned something over the weekend about Ketanji, strange name, Ketanji Brown Jackson, that was pretty shocking to me. When I first say this, if you don't know about this already, you may think you misheard, and it may not sink in, but it is true. The first black woman to be on the Supreme Court of the United States, if confirmed, Ketanji Brown Jackson, is related by marriage to Paul Ryan. You heard me right. Yes, the snake, former Speaker of the House, Mitt Romney's running mate. And apparently, this snake, Republican establishment, never-Trumper on the board of directors of Fox News Channel, has been pushing Ketanji along in her career for many, many years. Ketanji and Paul Ryan are connected and related by marriage. Her husband, Patrick, is the twin brother of Paul Ryan's brother-in-law. Says here, although Ryan and Jackson may not agree on politics, Ryan has been a staunch supporter of her legal career. First off, who the hell knew that Paul Ryan had black relatives? You know, they when he was running for... Now, he's a snake. I don't like Paul Ryan, believe me. But they were calling him and Mitt Romney racist all day, all night. He was related to her then. And, you know, I found out about this reading an article Saturday morning in Breitbart. I did not know about it. But you know what? When she was announced by Biden the other day, every member of the press knew about this relationship. What are the odds that the first African-American woman who will be on the Supreme Court of the United States is related to the Republican former Speaker of the House and former vice presidential nominee, Paul Ryan? And they say her and Paul Ryan don't agree on politics. I don't know if I believe that one. They're part of the Uniparty that Kerry Lake's always talking about. And I think they agree on politics quite a bit. I bet you when it comes to President Trump, they're of a like mind, and that's politics. Although Ryan and Jackson may not agree on politics, which I don't believe is true, this article says this, but I don't believe that's true, Paul Ryan has been a staunch supporter of her legal career. In 2012, he testified on behalf of Jackson when she was nominated to serve on the U.S. District Court for the District of Columbia. He offered an endorsement of her and said this, "Our politics may differ, but my praise for Ketanji's intellect, for her character, for her integrity is unequivocal. She's an amazing person, and I favorably recommend her consideration. We're family by marriage. Her brother and sister-in-law, who are my brother and sister-in-law, William and Dana Jackson, are here with us," he said at the time. Okay. Now, first off, I know, isn't this something? What a small world it is. First black woman on the Supreme Court just happens to be related to Paul Ryan. Are you kidding me? Paul Ryan's behind this. She's where she is because of him. The same people behind him are behind her. She's going to be on the court. It's going to happen. You know, they would have to find... I couldn't even imagine. There's no sex scandals with women like they have with the men. Although that one Republican lady in Congress had that weird sex scandal going on she resigned for. But I don't expect Ketanji to have any sex scandals or any fake sex scandals come up like they bring up with Republicans from time to time. But, you know, there's a reason why Republicans oppose Democrats when it comes to federal judgeships. And it's not just because of partisan politics. You hear this talked about all the time. Activist judges versus strict constitutionalists. And Republican judges, typically, on the federal bench, rule based on what the law, what the Constitution says, not what their own personal feelings are. And Democrats do nothing but make rulings based on how they believe things should be. You hear that phrase, legislating from the bench. And Democrats are, when their judges are activist judges, they don't rule based on the Constitution, on the rule of law. They base things on how they think things should be. Okay? And if you're doing that, you're violating your role and your oath as a judge. So you cannot be a Democrat federal judge who rules based on the way that Kajanji and other, like she made that ruling that Trump's lawyer had to testify. Are you kidding me? Lawyers have to testify? Never heard such a thing. And apparently she's been overruled a lot. On the few decisions she's made, she's been overruled quite a bit in appellate courts, which shows that she's an activist judge. So how can they say that she's a woman of good moral character when her rulings are overturned so much in the appellate court? That means she's an activist judge. And activist judges are not good people. They're corrupt. But I found it surprising that she was related to Paul Ryan. And it really shows you what President Trump is up against. He's up against a swamp that's deeper than we even imagine. You know, and why did the media keep this? You know, when the announcement came out the other day of her nomination, the media were telling us all kinds of little tidbits about her. When she went to Harvard, she was in drama class with Matt Damon. You know, oh, interesting. She knows Matt Damon. And they're going through all this, you know, background. They did not mention that she's related to Paul Ryan. Also, I'm curious about something. I did not notice at the nomination, because I really didn't watch the nomination. I saw her a little bit. I saw Biden a little bit. Is her husband white? I'm curious. Is she married to a white guy? I'm curious. I don't know. Or does Paul Ryan have two black relatives? I don't know. Let me know. Well, actually, it'd be three, because the brother-in-law that she's, you know, related to, you know, I don't know. I'm assuming she's married to a white guy. And I've been watching liberals talk about her all weekend, about how she truly understands what African Americans are going through. Really? A black woman married to a white guy who's related to Paul Ryan, who was in a class in college with Matt Damon, she's down with black people in the hood? She understands them? How do you figure that? Doesn't seem to make much sense to me, but this is just one of those things that we're going to have to just deal with. It is going to happen. She will be on the Supreme Court, and just take comfort in knowing that it doesn't change the makeup of the court. But she's a lot younger than Breyer, so we're going to be hearing about her for a long, long, long time. All right, let's take our last break of the second hour. Our number toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. We'll be right back.
This is Janet Cimarelli, licensed nutrition counselor. I have more than 30 years experience counseling people, and I've traveled throughout Europe, United States, and Canada for nutrition education from the experts around the world, all to be able to give you the very best
Steve Kane Show.
information for my clients. You
Hey, hold
can
on.
see me, Janet Cimarelli, licensed nutrition counselor, by appointment at AJ's. Call 954-317-1851 and see the changes you can make in your health with nutrition. 954-317-1851. 954-317-1851.
Have you checked your cholesterol lately? Knowing your numbers is important, especially when it comes to heart health. Any lab test now of Boca Raton guarantee the lowest prices on all of their thousands of lab tests. Their total cholesterol panel with LDL, HDL, and triglycerides is just $49. No doctor's order or prescription is needed. No appointment either. Just stop right in, and you will be in and out in 15 minutes or less. Any lab test now of Boca Raton is located at 23016 Sandalfoot Plaza on the east side of 441, just a few doors down from Western Beef. If you have any questions, call 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Any lab tests now of Boca Raton. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane radio listeners love Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
I went over to a Champagne Automotive, and I gotta say that this man is the most fair mechanic I have dealt with in my entire life. We took a car over there that was not being used yet. You know, it belonged to my 90-year-old dad. Everybody I had taken it to before was charging an astronomical amount of money. But when we took it over there, Eddie took a look at it, and I gotta say that this man
Anyone that buys gas supports Putin. Yeah, you hate to say that's true.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need. And their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
All right, callers, if you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve joining us. Good morning, Steve.
Good morning.
Oh, boy.
Good morning for me. I've been up all weekend, practically. I got caught up in the drama of this catastrophe that we're watching here.
You mean being on the verge of nuclear war? I mean, it's, yeah.
I couldn't really go to sleep.
That's hard. It's hard with that.
I don't know how anyone goes to sleep nowadays. It's really scary, and just goes to show you can't take just anybody and make the president of the United States without catastrophic results.
Yeah.
The question is not will we make it, and I was asking myself at the beginning, how are we going to make it through till
3 years. Yeah.
And it's not really a question. It's like if we have to wait that long for Trump's input, what's the country going to look like, or what's left of the country going to look like when he does take over? Is that a worthy question to ask today? Can we survive without Trump?
Well, Putin has his nuclear weapons on alert, and the U.S. Embassy in Moscow has sent out an immediate advisory that all Americans should leave Russia immediately. Tensions are high.
That's a beauty. You might say tensions are high.
You know, I was talking to you before the show. I think that the level we're at now may be even a higher state of alert than during the Cuban Missile Crisis. I've never heard it reported that Russia had their nuclear weapons on alert during the Cuban Missile Crisis. I don't think that was publicly known, if it happened.
The missile crisis was settled in a relatively short period of time. Obviously far more complex.
That was just a couple weeks, wasn't it? I mean, how many
years?
Well, we're already 5. This is day 5 or 6 of the war in Ukraine.
You know, this problem, which seems so humongous, the worst part of it is the fix is so easy, and he won't do it. What he's got to do is bring back our status as the #1 oil.
Yeah.
Used to be, and all of a sudden, Putin's out of gas.
Mm-hmm. Literally.
It's like pulling exactly, metaphorically and literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to get caught. It's too early in the day to be down, and I just got up, so.
Yeah, I'm not down. I'm scared. I mean, this is really scary stuff.
Down and scared.
You know what? I'll tell you. I was talking about this earlier. Any other president, and I mean Clinton, any of them, with things like that's going on right now, would call up Putin and have an emergency summit meeting between the President of the United States and the Russian president. And Biden said he has no plans on even talking to Putin.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't matter. Everyone they ask, all their experts at Fox. And by the way, Fox has done a magnificent job this weekend covering the war. I mean, it's been just riveting as you sit there by your television set watching and what a great staff. You know, I've always appreciated Fox, but never more than today. This is tricky stuff, and they pulled it off amazingly, just amazingly. But
yeah,
but you know what it's about. So I mean, what's the point? You know, the Green lobby controls Biden. He always has, but the stakes have never been on an issue this big before.
Well, the tree huggers, you know, when the nuclear weapons come and they radiate the planet, I mean, that, you know, that's right. You want to take some calls?
That's our input.
Yeah.
Real world.
Yeah. All right, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian, this is Lee in Lauderdale.
Hey, Lee.
Hey, Lee.
Morning, Steve. Quick, Brian, on the Supreme Court pick, her husband is black.
Her husband's black? So how, you know, so...
He's white, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, her husband's white. Because I've been, you know, I've been hearing all weekend about how this African-American woman who's married to a white man, related to Paul Ryan, and was in college with Matt Damon, that she understands what it's like on the south side of Chicago for average black people. It sounds, yeah, it sounds like she's out of touch.
I don't know how we can talk about anything except what's going on in this, basically what's shaping up.
Well, I'm just taking the calls as they come.
Okay, but I'm just putting this out there for the audience. Well, we appreciate and another day we could make a whole show out of it.
All right, well, all the callers that just hung up, call back about Ukraine. He just...
Is that what?
Yeah, Jackson Brown or whatever her name is. Kajanji. I don't know how to pronounce her first name. Kajanji. All the... Yeah.
Just call it Cajun.
Yeah, you're like a light master. All the lines that were lit are just, you know. So the lines are now open for those that want to talk about Ukraine.
Brian, who is...
No, I'm not. I'm watching the board.
The lines, light up the lines. Let's talk about the...
It was just a mention. It was just a mention from the caller. You know.
You turned it over to me to try to fill up your lines again, right?
Oh, okay.
Ceremoniously.
You hung up on all the callers. Yeah.
But there really is nothing else to talk.
No, listen.
Give you some great hooks on this, but that's what you need. I mean, it's...
Well, we had every line lit a second ago, but the lines are now open.
Business of lighting up.
No, you had said. You said let's take lots of calls. I don't know. The calls are screenless. I don't know what they wanted to talk about. I don't know.
Go Kane, K-A-N-E, with a K.
Steve Kane Show. Steve Kane Show.
1-888 Go Kane 1.
Steve Kane Show.
And light up Brian's phones because he gets very nervous if there's. You know.
What are you talking about? No. I don't get nervous. I don't keep whining. Steve and I are in different studios. I'm at the radio station. Steve's at the Laporta Contracting Steve Kane Cooper City radio studio. And I have the phone board here. Steve doesn't see the board. And every line on our board was lit up like a Christmas tree. And then you said, no, and then every line just, boom, went dead. No, I'm just pointing out that we have some availabilities on the line for those who would like to call in about
demonstration how to do that. Folks, the world seems to me on the precipice and on the verge of collapsing. It falls. The problem stems from the presidency of the United States, Biden, who is more interested in racking up dollars in his bank account than he is doing the right thing and saving the world from destruction.
Yeah.
Assured destruction. I just got here too, so what can I tell you?
Yeah.
How much did you watch on television this week?
Oh, enough. And it was up early this morning watching it more.
Not agree with me that Fox has some great.
I thought what I saw, they did pretty good. They did pretty good over the weekend. Brett Baer was doing good with the war map and all that. Yeah.
They all did well.
Yeah. Well, let's go back to our phones. What was your question?
Afraid they're going to run away?
No, I'm not afraid. You said you want to take. Do you want to take calls or not? I don't. I'm just. All right. Okay. Good morning. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jim in Cincinnati. Good.
Speak up nice and loud, Jim.
Okay. Hey, I'm trying to bring Brian a little comfort, and I don't have any My Pillow slippers or robe to put on him, but I watched President Trump this weekend at CPAC talk about some of this, and I think what I'm trying to do anymore is gauge my emotions of the truth on how President Trump is reacting. And his speech seemed fairly confident that he can solve this problem. We will be in a problem. We cannot stop the problem right now because of who's in charge. But I believe President Trump made it quite clear that this problem is not only solvable, but we will come back better. Okay? We will have President Trump in office. We will take...
Yeah.
I believe some of the coverage of the war has been gaslit, so to speak. There have been fake pictures from years ago.
Really? Okay. So wait a minute. Slow down a second. So this is interesting stuff here. I'm glad because I woke up and when I saw the news this morning, it was scary, but you're telling me it's all fake. So I shouldn't be scared that Russia didn't invade and isn't killing people in Ukraine and.
Brian, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying there is some out there that gets more coverage than others. There is fake reports about the news. Keep that in mind.
Okay, well, what about this? Are Steve and I discussing that is based on fake news and not accurate?
Say because it's not been proven.
But not been proven.
I'm talking to Brian.
What? I said what? What's my... I said what?
What we're watching the news is fake.
No, that was the caller. That wasn't me. The caller said the news is fake, not me. No, it's worse than what we're seeing on television. No, the caller is saying what we're seeing on television is fake news. So this thing... Okay. Well, what are you saying?
I must be getting you confused for you. I'm sorry. What I'm trying to do is bring you hope.
I'll bring us hope.
I can always use some of that.
I led you down a wrong trail by saying fake news. Okay, there is propaganda being put out there. It's not the main coverage. Everything is tragic. It is scary. There are nuclear problems that could come from this.
And let me throw out the key question at the end of everything you're saying. What's the world going to look like by the time Trump takes over? With what is going to occur between now and then? What's going to be left for Trump to fix?
I believe that nobody has control or view of that. We are just going to be victims of what people who have bad intent choose. Okay? I believe whatever we come through this side of nuclear war is repairable, and it's repairable by the person who brought us greatness just years ago. Okay? If it wasn't for that greatness that we had years ago, we'd be in a lot worse problem today. So keep this in mind. I'm not saying don't worry. I'm not saying that Russia is good or Ukraine is bad or anything like that. We don't know.
Well, I know. You don't know who the good guys are and who the bad guys are as you watch your television this weekend? There have been a couple bad guys that they've put up there, by the way. Those who are trying to balance their coverage. They put a couple guys up there that are on the other side of this.
The Russian propagandist.
Yes, there were two guests in that cabinet.
One of them's a colonel, a retired colonel, because I heard a caller earlier today who was Moscow Molly called in earlier in the hour, and she was talking about this colonel. Hey, listen, caller from Cincinnati, we got to run for our break at the top of the hour. I'll put the razor blades away during the break because we got an hour to go. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. Steve is here Our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. If you're just tuning in, the U.S. Embassy in Moscow has sent out an advisory telling Americans to get out of Russia immediately, that they have no way to evacuate you if you do not go. This is the first time this type of warning has ever been issued, to my knowledge, from the U.S. Embassy in Russia. So we'll continue after this. Don't go anywhere.
Chicago, AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network, WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Have you checked your cholesterol lately? Knowing your numbers is important, especially when it comes to heart health. Any lab test now?
Yeah, there's some trolls around this morning.
The lowest prices on all of their thousands of lab tests. Their total cholesterol panel with LDL, HDL, and triglycerides is just $49. No doctor's order or prescription is needed. No appointment either. Just stop right in, and you will be in and out in 15 minutes or less. Any lab test now of Boca Raton is located at 23016 Sandalfoot Plaza on the east side of 441, just a few doors down from Western Beef. If you have any questions, call 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009. Any lab tests now of Boca Raton. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
Denture wearers, are messy adhesives ruining the taste of your food? Is it painful for you to eat? Does the constant denture movement affect your speech? Are you always worried that your dentures will fall out while you're talking or laughing? Do you have sore spots? You are not alone. These are common problems that can be solved simply with dental implants. This is Steve Kane, and I want to introduce you to Brighton
Steve Kane Show.
where the Kane family goes for all our dental
Hey, Mike, hold on.
Brighton Dental Care doesn't want cost to stop you from being able to eat the foods you love again and live in comfort. That's why, for Steve Kane listeners, they're offering implants, get this, for just $3,500. That includes 2 implants plus a lower denture. Now, if you go to a dentist in Boca or in Aventura, they're going to charge you $6,000 for the exact same implants and denture. That's right, $6,000. But at Brighton Dental Care, just $3,500, and that includes the 2 implants plus your lower denture. Laugh and live with confidence. Call Brighton Dental Care at 954-922.
If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. And everyone, please like the video if you have not already.
And online at BrightonDentalCare.com. Be sure to ask about special discounts for our military veterans.
Brian Craig here. You've heard Steve Kane talk about the great job Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting did on his new roof. We have on the line John from Wellington, one of our regular callers. He just had his roof repaired by Laporta Contracting, and he wanted to share his experience.
Thanks to the Steve Kane Show, my roof repairs were just completed by Laporta Contractors. They were fast, professional, and the cost of the repairs was very reasonable. I had 4 sections of roof repaired, and upon initial inspection, they were honest and told me that my roof was good and I didn't need a new one. I called many roofers, and they were all scammers. They all wanted to put on a new roof, and they said they wouldn't repair what I had. Thanks, Brian. Another fantastic sponsor.
Wow, that's an amazing testimonial from John in Wellington. Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting will never sell you a roof that you don't need. Give him a call for a no-charge inspection of your roof. 954-604-4602. That number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone. 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1. And
All right. Hour number 3 has begun. 5 minutes after the hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve is here. I'm Brian. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. All right, you want to go back to the phone, Steve? What do you want to do? All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Brian and Steve, it's Michael in Boca. How you doing?
Hey, Michael.
Hey, Mike. So I got a good quick question for you. So is it the American embassy that's saying for Americans to leave, or is it Russia telling?
No, it's the American embassy in Moscow. The United States Embassy in Moscow issued a travel advisory and said, they capitalized every letter in immediately, that Americans should leave Russia immediately. We do not have the ability to evacuate you if you do not get out on commercial flights that are currently available. Russian airspace is about to be shut down from Western airlines, European and American airlines, and they'll be trapped. We can't fly in the Marines to fly Americans out of Russia.
Is your thought that we're about to do something in Russia, or that Russia's going to do something?
I don't think we're going to do something in Russia. But I think they're afraid. I think they're afraid when you look Putin, who that's right. I mean, he's put his nuclear weapons on alert.
But once that battle starts, and it can start with just one missile, it's going to be very hard to, in the heat of battle, put a cap on the direction.
Yeah. What do you? I mean, now that you've clarified, what do you think, caller?
Well, I mean. Well, one thing is, it depends, who's displaying the strength when it comes to America and Russia. So if it's America telling Americans to leave because, we want you to get out because we're doing something, or, and if Russia, I heard some military person yesterday, I don't know if it's true, and I don't ever know what to believe anymore, but they said something about if Putin did launch a nuclear, whatever it is, that we have incredible power that we can knock that out. Is that true? Do you know anything about that?
I don't know if I trust that. No. No, and say he did a limited attack. He's losing the war. He's sending those Chechen guys in over the weekend, and they were slaughtered, including the Chechen general that Putin sent in. He sent I don't know if you saw this, Steve. He sent in those Chechens with a deck of cards like we had in Iraq with Zelensky and all the government leaders. He's now sending in another team to get Zelensky and the government leaders with another deck of cards. And Steve Harrigan on Fox has been pointing out constantly that in 5 days of war, the Russian army has not achieved a single objective. And I think Putin's desperate right now, Steve. And I think he could very well, he could do anything.
And the other thing the other disturbing factor is whether Putin's sane or not. I think my own gut tells me that Putin is the one who started those rumors.
Well, that was an official. Oh, that he's crazy? Oh, that's interesting. So he's really sane.
I think he started it, and I think he's looking to get people scared. And the way to scare them the best is, if you have nuclear weapons, is we use our nukes.
And what's his end game then? He's got a.
So his end game is the surrender of
has some sort of a terminal illness, and if that was the case,
no, you know what I could be off on this. This is just a theory based on what I'm seeing. Because why is he ratcheting things up so much right now? And I think maybe his position was weakened over there, and he did his own wag the dog to. Yeah, and the war maybe makes him stronger and in place, he thought. But I think it's going to, in the end, in the end, I think there's a very good chance that Putin's going to be overthrown. Yep. I really do. I mean, they overthrew the Soviet government. This is nothing compared to that. If they could,
This could be the end of him, but I just hope there's not too much damage before that happens.
Yeah, all right. Hey, take care. Thanks for the call. Good morning, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Alex from Pompano, Brian.
Hey, Alex.
How are you?
All right. You called us. You're on the air. What's on your mind?
Oh, okay. Sorry. No, Brian, I want to say, hey, I voted for President Trump twice. And
good. You're a good man. And you'll do it a third time. And yeah.
The particle accelerator.
Okay, yeah.
too aggressive or something, will the Swiss? Because if they turn that thing on, it is literally like gonna like.
We want science fiction.
I think that's a Netflix series. Yeah, the party. Okay, hey, thanks for the call. The particle accelerator. Yeah, in Switzerland. Okay, we got enough real things that we know about, not to bring up the science fiction scenarios. I mean, this is the first time, Steve, that I ever really thought there would, in my adult life, that I thought there would be a conflict between the United States and Russia. We always thought, well, both the countries are so powerful that, that mutual self-destruction. Yeah, but
On a lighter note, do you know they have some very attractive women on our side over there? Do you know? You see the lady with her baby, the adorable little bald baby?
I did not. No. You're talking about a Ukrainian woman? Yeah.
Yes, beautiful and articulate and pulled all the heartstrings. That's the kind of propaganda that has affected world opinion. And I think they've done a pretty good job of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're successful because the world is sympathizing with the...
Well, Zelensky, because he's from the world of entertainment, knows how to image and do things for the camera. And there's certainly a lot of that going on, which is helping them, right?
Escaping. I don't understand this. You would think that there must be $1 million or
more. Yeah.
Rubles don't mean anything anymore. As of this morning, they're basically worthless.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I mean, I can't wait to hear that sounds frivolous. Hear from William Youngerman this morning and see what's going on with the precious metals.
No, we will. And
want to be.
That's for sure.
He's told you that, so he can get on and do his whole report saying, I told you so.
Yeah. Well, listen, let's go back to the phones. Our number, 1-888-GO-CANE1, 888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian and Steve. It's Kathy from Pompano.
Hey, Kathy in Pompano.
Hey, Kath.
I have a thought. I'm wondering if Trump might be ground and, taking care of business.
Like what?
Well, I can't imagine this man is happen. He has a lot of clout. He knows a lot of people. I can't imagine that he's just sitting back letting this happen.
Well, who would he be? What would he be doing?
Operate within the framework of our laws.
It would be illegal for him to do so. If he weren't involved in any communication with Russia or Putin, that would be a crime, which the left would love.
Doing it like through other people.
No. That would be criminal.
All right. It's just, to me, he gets the briefings. He knows it.
And he has no juice right now because he's not in the White House. He doesn't have the power to do anything that Putin would listen to. I mean, what could he say in 3 years? Maybe, if we're still here, yeah. Oh yeah, that's a positive campaign slogan. If we're still here, yeah. No, I know. Yeah. What I'm hearing from callers today, though, and you're one of them in Pompano, is people, you and others are scared, and you're grabbing onto anything you can to feel like you're safe.
Something, to be honest, as a Christian, no, I'm not safe. Because what's going on right now is prophesied in the Bible. I am not.
I sure hope it ends that way.
No, I'm sorry. I'm not scared at all. Honestly, I'm not. Anybody that knows me would tell you that.
So do you? I don't know. I mean, I still want to be safe. Do you not wear a seatbelt when you're in your car? I mean,
Overall, that. So,
well, I think that's, as a conversations piece, that's kind of a non-starter.
Yeah, I mean, that what you said is true, but oh my goodness, well, I'll tell you, a caller brought up the. Steve, on Friday, around this time on Friday, Jeff from Maine called in and was talking about the rapture. Now we have another caller, talking about the rapture.
For people of faith in our...
Yeah, but I've never heard multiple people calling in so closely about the rapture before.
Talking about it, you're going to get more of them.
No, those were random calls. I mean, people are, yeah. Well, listen, let's take our first break of the last hour. Boy, oh boy. Who would have thought it would have been this bad? And you know who's to blame? The media, the Republican establishment. They're responsible for this guy being in the White House right now, They're responsible for it. Yeah, but he wouldn't be there without Mitch McConnell, Paul Ryan, CNN, Chris Wallace, and all the rest, with all their fake Russia crap and Stormy Daniels and everything. Listen, we'll take our first break of the last hour. Those of you who want to hold, stand by. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1.
Hi folks, Dr. Matez here, now with the Biostation West Delray. At Biostation West Delray, we continue to offer the highest level of experience and care you can find in the realm of hormone pellet and hormone replacement therapies. But that's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities.
Steve Kane Show. Hey, Jeff, hold on.
And be in and out in 15 minutes or less. If you have any questions, call any lab test now of Coral Springs, 954-906-5983, 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. Listen to the Steve Kane Show on radio. Just search for
Oh boy, we are back. I'm Brian. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve, you with us? All right, our number 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine.
Oh, hey Jeff, how are you?
Hey, I don't know, but if you remember when Russia took over Crimea in 2017, Ukraine did something to really hurt Russia. They built dams and cut off the fresh water going to Crimea, and the agriculture in Crimea is in the tank now.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, the deep state and the CIA under Obama have U.S. military bases in Ukraine that have bioweapon left.
Mm-hmm.
And Putin has taken those out.
Okay, so you think, I'm just asking here, okay? Don't take it personal. You think Putin is helping us out then? He's doing a good thing.
It's an oxymoron. He's helping himself first and foremost. But with the rapture talk, at the end of the 7-year tribulation, the great bear from the north comes down and descends upon Israel to take out Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And that is in Israel. That's when the second coming, and Jesus lives.
Thank you.
Well, that's where our callers are, Steve. That's where they're. Well, No, I'm just taking the calls.
Anybody gets the feeling that Brian and I have not coordinated together for this show, you would be right, I guess.
Well, no, I'm not pulling anywhere. We first off, for those that are new to the program, we do not screen calls on this program. We screen them on the air, and we've really always done that, at least for many, many years. And sometimes we don't, that means we don't know where the callers are going to go. All right, until we get on the air with them, we screen on the air. So, so I didn't know what the caller was going to bring up before we put them on the air. Is the point I'm meaning? Oh, how could you not?
He's back from a period where he had COVID.
I didn't even notice he was gone.
Neither, to tell you the truth.
I don't like Cavuto. He's got another illness too. He's got COVID. He had cancer, and what's the third one? But I'll tell you what. No matter what illness he gets, no matter how long he's in the hospital, he is the only man I know that does not lose weight when they're in the hospital for weeks and weeks. He's still just as plump as he was before he went in. I don't know. Yes, I know. I'm glad he's doing well. I really am. I'm glad he's healthy and doing well. But enough of the. You had COVID. We're not going on and on about it constantly. Back and survived.
Wasn't in the hospital with all the complications that he had.
That's true.
We almost lost him.
That's true, and I'm glad he survived. But he's incredibly high risk because he's I don't know, is he morbidly obese? He's obese. And he's also a cancer survivor, and he's got a third illness he's always talking about. I've forgotten what the third thing is, third condition. But because of his weight and his past issues, he's a very high-risk person. That's why. All right, let's go back to the phones. 888-GO-CANE-1, you're on the air. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning. This is Cheryl from Indiana.
Hey, Cheryl.
Hey, Sarah. Sarah or Cheryl?
Cheryl.
Cheryl, yes, Cheryl. And,
okay, Cheryl.
I'm a new listener, and I take it that Steve, you're the main hog at the trough on this station, right?
The main hog at the trough. That's correct.
Quite frankly, I've never looked at myself that way, but perhaps you're right.
Well, I'm sure you're not, Porky. I was just like, I don't want you to cut me off now, but I'll just do that. But yep, times are changing. The signs are there. And I think a lot of us are afraid to call into the program. I'd love for you to call my personal number back. But, you know what? And also to Brian, when I had called in about them girls it is about personal safety and when they come into your house. I don't know. I've lived at, like I said, I'm Indiana. So I've lived under a rock my whole life.
Yeah.
Scary.
It is scary.
Okay,
and I remember your call. Oh, yeah, you called last week about giving the high school girls. Well, a lot has changed since last week in Ukraine. Things over there have gotten out of control, and I do believe that Biden and this government allowed this to happen for some other purposes, but I think things have gotten out of control from where they thought they would be, and we're in a much different situation today than we were Friday morning.
And that's all I got to say today.
Okay, all right. Yes, you're the main hog at the trough. Oh my goodness. Yeah, on occasion. Oh my goodness. Well, a lot of people. I'll just say this, and then see what I'm going. A lot of people don't know this, but Steve and I obviously are both Christian. I'm Catholic. Steve is a Jewish Christian, a Jew who is not a Jew for Jesus. You don't like to be called that, but Steve, you became a Christian. I don't know, about 15 years ago or so. And yeah, and Steve's a Jew. But you know what? All the apostles were Jews and Christians as well. So and Jesus himself.
I want to clarify this here because I'm trying to run the show from the guest seat.
Yep.
The the problem here is I'm a person of faith, and I believe in the Lord. But when you're doing talk radio, you have a choice on issues which way to go, secular or religion. And if you go religion, then you're
Yeah, I know what you mean. I agree with you. I agree with you. But I gotta. I just say this. We're coming up on a break, so I'll just say this about the end times talk. Because there was a call on Friday. I think it was Jeff from Maine called in Friday talking about the end times, and you and I had both signaled in that call that we don't want the end times to happen now. And I got a lot of negative feedback over the weekend that a lot of people in this audience that are evangelical Christians were upset at us about that, and I think they misunderstood our meaning in that. That's why I want to say, everybody, we are Christians. But this is a secular program, and if you start doing, as we're talking about what's going on in Ukraine or any issue that's affecting the world, if we start looking in biblical scripture for meaning in what's going on, you lose at least 3/4, if not more, of the audience, because the evangelical wing of the audience is just a small percentage of it, and even most people that are Christian would not consider themselves to be the evangelical bent. So we got to keep the show a secular show. And I remember once, Steve, I was that's enough on that. So we'll get. I don't want to get sidetracked too much on that, or we'll be doing what we say you don't want to do. But our number is 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. I thought what you said a little earlier was very interesting, Steve. Though, that Putin is not crazy; that he spread the rumor that he is.
What makes the situation the most? If he's crazy, he's unpredictable.
Yeah.
And to his advantage in terms of scaring and intimidating.
Which is a little bit of yeah.
He's Ukrainian.
Well, over the weekend, nationwide throughout Russia, in the major cities of Russia, there were anti-war protests, which I don't think have ever happened before. In Russia, and Putin obviously misjudged a lot of things. I think he misjudged how well, there was a major military miscalculation on how well his army would do, because they're not doing well, and their supply chain has fallen apart, which is really surprising for an army that you would think would be well supplied. And
Russia. He could be in a lot of trouble with them. They could. There are powers above Putin, and if they get the feeling that he's taking the country in the wrong direction and has a disaster on his hands, they could take him out.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, our number 1-888-GO-CANE 1. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, our number.
Good morning. Once. Twice. Yes, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Renee. I'm in Missouri.
Renee in Missouri. What's on your mind? You're
wondering, I had heard something earlier on YouTube. It's a news channel, but I haven't gone back to look. But it's a lady talking about Trump.
Yeah.
Of one of the states, if we get the House and the Senate.
Okay, well, yeah, there's a lot of people that say that Trump wants to be the Speaker of the House so that when the Republicans take over, they can impeach and remove from office both Biden and Kamala. No, I don't think so either.
They said he can impeach.
Yeah, you have to do more. You have to do more than impeach. You would have to remove them both from office, and that's never been done before. There have been multiple impeachments, and a president has never been removed. And I don't believe that a sitting vice president has been. There's been vice presidents that have resigned, but I don't think the Senate has removed a vice president or a president in an impeachment process. So that's that is such a, the odds of that are astronomical.
Have to be some circumstances far worse than I can think of to make people that scared, to make Democrats turn power over to Trump. It's possible, but
I mean, I think it would be amazing if Trump became the Speaker of the House and all this happened. But that's just an astronomical odds of anything like that happening. And Don Jr. has said that that's not going to happen. That the Speaker of the House thing is not in the cards. I've heard Don Jr. say that more than once on Twitter. He's tweeted about it.
Just saying, this lady was saying that there's a lot of people that President Trump is in.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, President Trump has a two-tier plan of draining the swamp. Okay, one, the first step is defeat as many of these fake Republican rhinos as possible in the primary, and have MAGA Republicans running in the general election in November. Okay, so that's step one. Step two is to win in November, and then he announced that he's running at CPAC on Saturday night in 2024. He made the announcement. So, you know, there's three parts: MAGA, defeat the fake Republican rhinos in the primaries, win in November, and then come back in 2 years, maintain control of both houses and gain and get him back in the White House in 24. That's the plan. Of him being Speaker. I know. Hey, listen, we got to run for a break, but thanks for the call, all right? Take care. All right, 33 minutes after the hour, it's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. We will be back right after this break.
This is Brian Craig. I've been telling you about the great deals and incredible customer service at Friendly Tire on both new tires and used tires. One of our listeners, Antonio, went to Friendly Tire and called to share with us his experience of buying used tires at Friendly Tire in Margate.
Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, yes, Brian, I want to give you a quick testimony about the tire place up in Margate, Friendly Tire. Friendly Tire is everything you said it would be, man. I went up there and got me some used tires, and when I went up there, man, he was very courteous. My whole family's going for that, man. It's everything you said it was going to be, man. I appreciate you for that, man, and Mike's a great guy, man.
Oh, what's your name?
Antonio.
All right, Antonio. Hey, I'm glad we could save you and your family lots of money on tires at Friendly Tire.
Oh, no doubt, man. Thanks so much, man.
Do what Antonio did. Stop into Friendly Tire and find incredible deals on both new and used tires. Give Friendly Mike a call right now. 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. And Mike will give you a quote right over the phone. 954-977-9445 for Friendly Tire in Margate. Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody.
No, Jethro, that's Steve said he wants to keep the show secular, and it is the Steve Kane Show. So I've got to defer to what direction Steve wants to go into. I was just restating what Steve had said, you know. No, it's when you're talking to. I'll see if I can explain when we get back. I don't know if Steve will let me, but if not, I'll do it on the podcast. All right, we are back. Oh man, Wings Plus on Sample Road in Coral Springs. Oh man, you know, everything at Wings Plus. I was eating there, Steve. You remember many years before they were an advertiser on the program here. And I'll just tell you real quick. You back with us, Steve? Okay. I heard a click. I thought I lost the connection. And Wings Plus on Sample Road is just really a couple of blocks away from our old studio that we used to broadcast from for many, many years. And I'd been eating there for many, many years. And I was telling you about Wings Plus on Sample Road. And one day you stopped in for lunch. And the next day we were doing spots for them. I remember you came into work the next morning. You had a menu in your hand from Wings Plus. I'm like, oh, I guess we're doing. That's awesome. That's great. And Wings Plus, by the way, they are the most pro-police, pro-conservative Trump venue you will ever have a meal in. I promise you. It's a place where you can go with your MAGA hat on and your Ron DeSantis shirt, sit down, order a meal, and not have any worries like all the other restaurants around, if you know what I mean. But everything at Wings Plus, what's so fantastic about it is nothing comes out of a can. Everything's homemade. Everything. The delicious sauces for the wings, the homemade clam chowder, the lobster bisque, everything homemade right there on the spot. And that's why it's so delicious. A lot of these other restaurants, what do, Steve? They go to Costco or BJ's and they buy all this stuff. I can go to Costco and BJ's, you know. Everything at Wings Plus is homemade right there on the spot. And that's why everything's so delicious. And you know, Steve and I have our favorites, but you know, my favorite are obviously the medium hot wings and the lemon pepper wings. Yours are the hamburgers and the is it the lobster bisque or the chili, Steve? That's your yeah. It's hard to pick favorites, but we do for the spot, so we can tell you. But I have not had the lobster bisque yet, but I'll tell you that chili is not only delicious, it's filled with meat. You know, you go to some of these other places, they give you beans. They overfill it with beans. Not at Wings Plus. It's homemade, it's delicious, and it's very meaty chili as well. Now, they're very easy to find. Wings Plus on Sample Road, about 1 mile east of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road. And when you stop in, make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. What'd you think of Trump's CPAC speech Saturday night, Steve? Oh, man. I mean, that was like his best speech. You know, I know a lot of people said that. It was his best speech ever. We said that about the one before. But it's because he's talking about what's going on in the news right now. He's...
Ask you a question. Do you think that there is people could reach in this country that Trump could... make it through till the next...
Well, when the Republicans take back the House and the Senate, even with Mitch McConnell still around, Trump's in charge, right? I mean, these are Trumplicans more than Republicans, right? They're MAGA Republicans, MAGA conservatives. So, yeah, you know, and that's you know, like Ron DeSantis types, Kerry Lake types. That's who's going to be the majority in the House and the Senate with the new Republican majorities. Yeah.
What I have to say is, after that election, assuming we accomplish everything we want to accomplish, at least there is a chance that Trump could be brought into the process. I'd settle for his input.
Well, he's. Oh yeah. Well, he's.
Doing.
He's the head of the party, and when the Republicans control, you know, Kevin McCarthy, who I'm very suspicious of Kevin McCarthy, if he's a never Trumper or not, I don't know, but I don't trust him, but I trust in Trump, and Kevin McCarthy is a smart man, and he understands that Trump still runs the party. President Trump's going to have tremendous influence. He'll be a de facto Speaker of the House.
Next election.
When we take back the House and the Senate, President Trump will in effect be the Speaker of the House and the Senate Majority Leader. You know, I mean, he will be. I mean, that's yeah, and it should be that way. It's really.
Down to is at least with Trump in that position that you described, is some kind of realistic chance he'll be in a position to put in meaningful.
Oh yeah.
Input into this.
Yeah.
Situation.
Well, you know, I remember in '94 when Newt Gingrich had the Republican Revolution. They can't use that phrase anymore because these liberals, they'll grab onto anything. But when the Republicans took over both houses with Newt and Bob Dole in '94, the first day when they all were sworn in, they were up all night after midnight passing the Contract for America agenda. All night. I remember that. It was very unusual. They weren't out having parties like they typically do. And I really, truly expect to have something like that happen here. You know, but the Democrats are doing something. Madison Cawthorn, he's the young Republican guy in the wheelchair. The Democrats are testing something out with him. I've heard him talk about this. They're trying to keep him off the ballot for his re-election by saying he took part in an insurrection, January 6th. What they're doing with the Democrats are, and I heard Madison Cawthorn talk about this. There's a real effort, and what they're doing with Madison Cawthorn is it's almost like a test case because this is their fantasy with Trump, right? They get Trump on a crime, they can keep him off the primary ballots and things in some states, and they're going after Madison Cawthorn as kind of a test to see if they can get away with it with him. And I heard him talking in Texas 2 weeks ago, and he seems to think they were pretty serious about it. You know, Trump has another rally in South Carolina a week from this coming Saturday, 2 weeks from Saturday that just passed. So March 12th is the next Trump rally. It's going to be in South Carolina. You know, Mike Lindell had a run-in with a CBS reporter at CPAC over the weekend. Yeah, I'm going to play you the audio. And this CBS reporter took out his phone and put it up in Mike Lindell's face and started asking him questions. And Mike Lindell thought the guy was being inappropriate and rude, you know, putting the cell phone up in his face and, and things. So Mike Lindell went back at him and got the crowd involved in it. And this wasn't on stage. This was just walking down the hallway at CPAC in Orlando over the weekend. So this is Mike Lindell, and he's talking to this reporter from left-wing CBS News. He said, CBS News, you're traitors to the United States, he's yelling at him. You're a disgusting person, CBS News. You're a traitor to our country. That's Mike Lindell. Now he has everybody... I like this. He has everybody chanting traitor to the CBS News guy. That's amazing, isn't it? I love it. I think, are you kidding? He's like number 2 in the party. It's like Trump, Mike Lindell, DeSantis. Well, Minnesota's pretty left-wing where he lives, so that's a problem. But that was a beautiful. Yeah, my pillows, and in fact, yeah. But I want Mike Lindell. He's amazing, and that was. He's got everybody chanted, and he got a shout out from President Trump too during his speech Saturday night. Well, I'm going to say some nice things too, and that is about Mike Lindell's 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, which with our promo code Kane at checkout is 50% off. This is the lowest price ever on the MyPillow mattress topper, and it's been a life changer for me, the mattress topper, because it's allowed me to get a full rested night's sleep every night. And I've been sleeping on it since April, almost a year now, and it is definitely a life changer. From the first day, the first night I slept on it, I woke up the next day when I'm supposed to wake up. I was always tossing and turning, waking up hours before I had to. No more. I sleep the whole night through. My wife had back pain. After one night, her back pain was gone, and it's never returned. And it's absolutely amazing. It comes with a 10-year warranty. And now to find it, go to mypillow.com. On the right side of the screen, scroll down, you'll see Mike Lindell holding the American flag. Click Mike Lindell holding the American flag, and this special will pop up. With our promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, 50% off, the lowest price ever, on the 3-inch MyPillow mattress topper, and it comes in all sizes that there are mattresses of, okay, including the RV Queen, but twin all the way up to California King and every size in between. It will change your life. Promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Do you think you've come in contact with someone who has coronavirus? Steve Kane's wife Lori did, and she went to any lab test now of Coral Springs to find out if she has coronavirus.
So I came into contact with somebody that
Hey there.
tested positive for COVID, and I was scared, and I needed results right away, so I went to any lab test now in Coral Springs. It was great. I didn't want to have to stay in line for 2 hours and have a swab stuck down my nose into my brain. It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to any...
Brian, do you believe that God answers prayers? Of course I do. Of course I do.
To have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Coral Square Mall. You can call them at 954-906-5983. 954-906.
Yes, Kathy and I will have a podcast later today.
Is in the Sandalwood Plaza where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough. Call them at 561-237.
Well, thank you, Rich Me, Rich You.
561-237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, we are back, and it's time. It's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the first look at the gold and precious metals prices for the week. Yes, William Youngerman. Oh, yeah. William Youngerman, you're on the air. How are the metals looking this week?
Looking very strong for this week. Starting off, at least this week, very strong. Last week we saw them close just trade in that range again between $1,890 and $1,920 most of the week, and closing out the week at $1,889 on gold. That was down $14.50 on Friday. Silver was up 8 cents, closing out the week at $24.26 the ounce. Platinum remained unchanged on Friday at $1,055, and palladium lost $57 at $2,307. As the escalation of this war continues and the ramifications of the war are starting to be felt around the world, we're concerned that things could really get out of control, and now gold is up $26.50 this morning at $1,915.50 overnight. We did get up to $1,931. Silver up 23 cents at $24.50 the ounce. Platinum unchanged at $1,055, and palladium up $113 at $2,420. Oil up almost $4 this morning, over $95 a barrel. The Russian ruble has dropped some 30% against the U.S. dollars, and there's great concern, as there has been over the last couple of years, actually, of talks at the possibility that Russia and China will build some new currency together to create a alternate currency against the U.S. dollar. That remains to be seen, but there is that concern.
You're a few minutes early, but I'm going to keep you on hold,
certainly
okay?
There's a lot of ramifications and things that we can't even perceive yet coming out of this situation. It certainly behooves everybody to have at least some gold and silver and platinum in your position.
Oh, yeah, and this morning, I mean, all the metals are great buys, it looks like, William Youngerman. Is that correct? Oh, yeah. You know, and you've often talked about how, in times of war and famine and that's where the metals come in, and we're there. All right, now William Youngerman, they open up weekdays at 10 a.m. You can stop in. The address 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway, on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. You can give them a call, toll-free, 800-327-5010, 800-327-5010, and online, WilliamYoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, we will talk tomorrow. All right, take care. Steve, this war in Ukraine with Russia just took over the weekend. It just things have gotten out of control. It seemed last week, I know this sounds like a crazy thing, but it was almost like as controlled of a situation as a combat zone could be Thursday and Friday last week. And then I just don't think Putin thought that Zelensky would stay and that the Ukrainians would fight back.
Someone on one side or the other has miscalculated.
Putin's got to be.
What's going on now in the next couple of weeks is trying to figure out which side it is.
Well, Ukraine was supposed to be collapsed by now. But isn't it something? I mean, who would have thought, right? But it's like having Martin Sheen be the president. Right before he was president, he starred in a TV show where he played the president of Ukraine. I mean, it's such a weird thing. And I saw on YouTube over the weekend, a few years ago, he was on the Ukrainian version of Dancing with the Stars. And I watched this compilation. He's a very good dancer, too. And, they're corrupt. He's corrupt. Ukraine's corrupt. But, it's not... I think Putin believed, because Ukraine used to be Russia and everything else, maybe he miscalculated how pro-Russian Ukrainian people really are. Maybe he thought that they would welcome in the invaders.
That way.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, these Democrats in this country have lost a lot of ground on their attack on the Second Amendment in the future, because individual gun owners are holding off the Russian army right now, and believe me, the NRA and other those of us on the right, when they start talking about grabbing guns again, this is going to be something that we all point to say, wait a minute, look at Ukraine. I mean, and some of these, like Miss Ukraine is out there, and there's the one boxer, I don't know his name, but I recognize him, the famous Ukrainian that sounds like a make of a gun, a Klitschko.
They're both politicians, and they're...
Yeah. Boxers. Yeah. And Putin thought they would be welcomed, I guess. And one thing I was really surprised about, though, with the Russian army is I was hearing reports over the weekend that they're run out of gas. I mean, how could they mount a major invasion like this and run out of fuel? That just it's boggles my mind. I'm wondering, Steve, if Putin's being sabotaged by his own people.
Worry about are his bodyguards.
Yeah. Without Putin. Yeah. Well, listen, it's time to check in with Anita from AJ's Natural Wellness Shop at the Festival Marketplace in Pompano. Anita, good morning.
Good morning, guys.
We're doing great. How's it going over at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop today?
We did some rearranging, made some more room, put a bunch more shelves in to bring in everybody's favorite requests I've been getting.
Yeah, I tell you, AJ's, since you've been with us here on the Steve Kane Show, Anita, every time I go over by AJ's, you're expanding, you're moving things around, things are getting busier and busier there all the time because the word is out, and it's a great store. And if you are getting your nutraceuticals, your supplements somewhere else, stop into AJ's or call them, because not only is the selection spectacular, the prices are incredibly low, and as you hear from Anita, if they don't currently have what you're looking for, you'll get it, right, Anita? Yeah, and Anita comes from the supply side of things in the nutraceutical industry and has incredible contacts that allow them to have just great prices over there. And I've been hearing, I get such great feedback from listeners of the Steve Kane Show about AJ's Natural Wellness Shop. And still, even this weekend, some listeners were sending me photographs of them in front of your shop.
For that.
Yeah.
Are my favorite customers. We always get to chat and have a great time in the store. It's not just a place for vitamins, but a place for like-minded individuals like your listeners to get together.
That's right. That's right. Well, AJ's Natural Wellness Shop is in the Festival Marketplace. The Festival Marketplace, you all know. Everyone knows the festival in South Florida. Just immediately east of the Turnpike on the south side of Sample Road is the Festival Marketplace. And AJ's Natural Wellness Shop is very easy to find once you're there. When you go in, go right back towards the food court. Right before the food court, look west. Remember, the beach is east. The Everglades is west. You'll see an information booth. AJ's is right in front of the information booth. You can also call 954-317-1851. 954-317-1851. All right, Anita, take care, and we'll talk next time. All right, thank you. You too. All right, Steve, you want to sign us off for the day? We are finished. We are finished for today.
But do not despair, because I'm going to go back to my...
Yes. You're basically an embedded journalist almost, Steve. Do you wear the helmet and the flak vest when you're watching Fox?
Actually, I wear my...
TMI? Oh, his tank hat. Okay, so you're kind of there. All right.
Okay, we want to thank you for joining us. We thank our associate producer, Tyler Kane, TK. And we'll see you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Brian, let's not leave him out. He makes the whole thing go. See you tomorrow. God bless America.
Oh, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on
Oh, man. Hey, guys. Everyone, thanks for watching. If you new, please subscribe. And everybody else, don't leave without liking the video if you don't mind. That helps me out a lot if you like the video. I would appreciate that. Got to turn our voicemail on. Well, thank you, Chaplain Jethro. Thank you, Patricia. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Yeah, you know, this is one of those news story days that just isn't a lot of fun. It's really not. I mean, you know, war, it's just, it's not my favorite topic. It's a topic I wish we didn't have to talk about. But, you know, what I talk about this on the podcast today with Kathy. You know, I think Biden and NATO let this happen for their own sick, you know, financial gains, and things have gotten out of control. I think they were conned by, I think they made a deal with Putin. They got conned. Things have gotten out of control. They've lost control, and things are getting much more involved than they planned. Hey guys, I gotta run, but I'll see you later on the podcast. All right, make sure you're subscribed, like the video, and thanks for watching.